Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How we doing?
Yeah.
Got one of those fake flowers.
No, don't do that, Skip.
Is that you on your lapel?
You want
the Eagles are kind of fake flowers, right?
You thought you were going to come out here and gloat this morning. I can just see you on your little palatial estate. Oh, I got it. You didn't. Oh, walk into him and say, no, you won't. Not on my watch. Walk into him and say, not on my watch.
You know, I could care less.
Yeah, whatever.
Happened. It was the Giants.
Oh,
it didn't even count.
Whoa.
Well,
Oh, well, if you didn't care, so why were you tweeting the Cowboys are still in first place?
Well, I did after the game.
Oh, why you did that?
After
You
the
didn't
game,
care.
I tweeted.
You didn't care.
Well, that's all. Is that a fact? Am I right about that?
It's temporarily.
Oh.
It's just temporarily.
Okay.
It won't be long, though, for you not be in first place and out of the playoffs.
Well, it won't be long till you get your butt kicked. Right there.
Clearly, we have a great show lined up today. Are the Patriots' struggles Brady's fault or his supporting cast? And should the Cowboys be bigger favorites at home on Sunday against the Rams? But first, we will start with the Eagles from last night. It took overtime, but Carson Wentz led Philly on a second-half comeback to force overtime and get the win against Eli Manning and the Giants. With a depleted receiving core, the Eagles relied heavily on Zach Ertz, who caught 2 touchdowns, including the game-winning catch in overtime. And with the win, the Eagles are now 6-7 and sit alongside the Cowboys atop the NFC East. So, Shannon, are you encouraged or discouraged by the Eagles after last night?
I'm probably more discouraged, although there were some encouraging things, but I was more discouraged. Skip, the thing is for me is that I'm more discouraged in the defense because it seems to me that Ronald Darby is your best corner, and he gave up a $154 and 2 touchdowns in the first half. That's your best corner. Now, and the Giants, Skip, look, the Giants are whatever they are. They're not a very good football team. We know that. If the Eagles were playing anybody else last night, at the half, at best case scenario, they could hope to find themselves down 24-3, maybe even 27-3.
Yep.
But they were very fortunate to only find themselves down 17-3. And I'm looking at the defense and I'm looking at Eli Manning, and they had people thinking for just a second, man, Eli should have been starting this whole while. Eli may got another year or 2 in him.
He had moments.
And then all of a sudden the second half comes back around.
Yeah.
But I was encouraged by what I saw offensively because, walking to him now, because I would have given him an A if it was a grade, Jenny, because, now what we do now since I've been dealing with Skip is that we factor in weather. We factor into the elements.
No,
if it's,
you don't.
No, you said you do.
I'm not in the Hall of Fame. No. You weather doesn't matter.
But you always tell me you've covered the game and followed the game longer than I played it, and I've been in the Hall of Fame. So I will give you that. Exactly. So we factor in weather, elements, things of that nature. It rained the entire night.
I don't think it rained in the fourth quarter. Honestly, I don't think it was. I don't think it was raining. I think it slacked off at worst.
Cameras were still.
I got you. You know what I'm gonna do for you? I'm gonna get you a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you a nice 4K.
Yeah.
LED. I'm gonna get you that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm gonna get you that. I'm gonna get you that, Skip Bayless, because if your television did not show rain in the fourth quarter, there's something wrong.
I couldn't see it. You are going to get me a Christmas gift of like 5 more cases of Diet Dew.
I'd like a new TV too, Shannon.
Skip. Now there's a guy that's playing up in Foxborough. And every time we come out here and address his state, we talk about what he does not have. Now, Skip Bayless loves to talk about Jacoby Myers. He's an undrafted free agent, but he's a converted quarterback.
A rookie.
Skip, if you don't mind me asking, can you tell the people at home what is Greg Ward?
I don't really know.
Oh, you don't know? Yeah. He's an undrafted free agent that was a college quarterback, a rookie.
Wow.
Did you know that? Okay, how about this here? What about John?
Wait, who is Zach Ertz? Do you know who that guy is? That number 86?
Help me out. Who is Julian Edelman?
Help me out.
Who is Julian Edelman?
The
Hall of Famer.
Does Tom Brady have a Zach Ertz? He used to have a Gronk.
He has a Julian Edelman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, the guy that was Super Bowl MVP.
Julian Edelman, 7th-round draft choice, former college quarterback at 5 feet 11 inches tall. Wow.
Can you say Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, I don't
But it's Skip. He also had a guy, Josh Perkins. Skip, you saw him?
Yep.
He was an undrafted free agent. Now, we heap praise. Skip did. I remember they played the Giants at home, and they had to stay in that 11 personnel package. Skip, and that Tom Brady had. This man had to stay in a three tight end package with Greg Ward, an undrafted free agent rookie. Down 14.
What was Dallas Goedert?
Oh, Skip.
Wait, he was a second rounder. They snaked him right out from under Jerry Jones. I'm just asking back questions.
I know, I'm not asking
so there's two guys, Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. Those guys are really good.
Oh, can I? And White. Yeah. Is he any good? James White any good?
James White, I don't know. He's okay.
He just
5 feet 10 inches
tall.
tall.
I don't know how a guy 5 foot 10 inches tall can have the most catches in a single playoff game in NFL history. In the Super Bowl, caught 14 passes. But that's not here to Skip. It's my turn to talk. Thank you very much. Now, so there are Lane Johnson goes down early. Alshon goes down with a foot injury. Even I think a Whiteside. So now I'm like, they only had 3 healthy receivers to start the game. Alshon goes down. So now you got 2. It got so bad that Peterson said, you know what, Ward, just fair catch it. We can't run the risk of you returning punts and get nicked because now we got 1 wide receiver.
Desperation.
They walk into him. He was throwing them passes and they were dropping them left and right. I say, walk it to him. You got to walk the ball and hand it to him. And he started doing that in the fourth quarter. Skip, you see what he did? Zach Ertz, come here, I need you. Dallas Goedert, come here, I need you. Ward dropped the touchdown. But when it was third down, he said, Ward, I'm calling on you, bro. I know you could deliver in the crunch. And guess what, Skip? You see the emotion, Zach Ertz? Dougie P called timeout. You get that book, Fearless. He called timeout.
Dougie prediction.
Dougie P called timeout. He said, look here. He said, this is what I'm thinking. I said, if we put a Ertz outside, we motion him back in. Now, normally they're in a man coverage, and we motion him back in, they might get confused and some play man, some play zone. And guess what happens, Skip? They motion him back in. 2 guys played man, 1 guy played zone. And walking to him had a game-winning touchdown.
That's like highly impressive.
It was very impressive. But, Skip, overall, the mere fact that you found yourself in that situation with a team like the Giants leaves me discouraged, although they might be encouraged and says, look, we can come back. But if you play a decent team now, Washington is better than the Giants. The Cowboys are better than the Giants. You fall behind 14-3 against the Cowboys, and it'll be 28-3 in the blink of an eye. And we know the Cowboys are front runners, and that's what happened to the Eagles last time they played in Jerry's world. Fell behind 14-0, and it went on to be the Cowboys' most impressive win of the season.
Bounce it to him at an early time.
Well, Skip, I'm talking there. So in other words, what I'm saying, Skip, I was discouraged because the defense did not play up to par for the entirety of the game. Now, the second half, they held them to two first downs. But you can't spot a team this late in the season with what's at stake. I thought they would come out and play a lot better overall than what they played. Second half, virtuoso. First half, left a lot to be desired.
So you have left me confused over here because you're gloating, but you're discouraged. So I don't get how they go together.
I'm not
gloating, discouraged.
Skip.
I'm so excited, but I don't like what happened. Which is it? I don't know.
I'm gloating because I know you were gloating when you saw that score 17-3.
I didn't say a word. I just knew what was coming. So now it is my turn to speak. So we will have nothing coming from across the other side of the title. Thank you very much.
Skip side.
I will never say that a team that wins a game should be discouraged by it because it was a win, and wins are coming at a tough price in this division of late because they did win after losing 3 straight and 5 of 7, and I must admit that my team has lost 3 straight and 4 of 5. So would I take a win on Sunday, even against the Rams are much better?
I bet you would.
I would take a win. So I'm not going to discount the fact that you did somehow win the game. But I'm here to say that was an embarrassing win. That was a shameful win. That was a head scratcher of a win because what happened in the bitter end is what should have happened from the very start. You know it and I know it. Because the Giants came in losers of 8 straight games with a 38-year-old backup quarterback back at starter and a defense that came in ranked 29th in the NFL in points allowed. So it should have been a wipeout. I told you sitting here at the end of the show yesterday, if Bounce It To Him Wentz, W-I-N-C-E, didn't have at least 300 yards passing against this defense, something was very wrong. And he finally barely did have 300 yards passing, but it took overtime. It took overtime, and I'm saying, what just happened? Because I'm going to remind everybody that my team beat that team easily twice. So what was the problem last night? look at the numbers. Do you realize your Eagles had the ball for 43 minutes to the Giants 22 minutes? Think about that. 43 minutes to 22 minutes, and it still took overtime to win the game. It was 418 total yards to 255. If I told you that sitting here yesterday, you would have said it's 35-7, right?
Yes.
And it took overtime to do that. And look, this was Eli Manning thrown into the fire on Monday Night Football after having to sit out for most of the year and watch Danny Dimes throw nickels, right, and pennies. And in the end, Eli...
I like that. Nickels and pennies, that's what he's been throwing, not no dimes.
That is correct. And yet, Eli, in the first half, I sat back in awe because he had 179 yards passing against the Eagles secondary. And Darius Slayton, a fifth-round rookie out of Auburn, was looking like Jerry Rice. Every time I looked up, he was open deep again. And at one point, the second touchdown he caught, he just ran right between the DBs like they checked out.
Skip, they had him bracketed.
Well, what are you doing?
They played him in and out.
You got him. No, you got him. You got him. No, you got him. No, you get him. No, nobody got him. And all of a sudden I look up, and it's 17-3 at halftime. And so I'm thinking, is there any way the Giants could hang on to this? And I said at halftime, you can ask Ernestine, I told her, there's no way they'll hang on to this lead because what do I always tell you about Saquon Barkley? I love the whipped cream on top. I love the occasional 70-yard burst.
Right.
But when they needed somebody to just salt it away by hammering the ball between the tackles, when they needed to kill the clock at Philadelphia, he can't kill it. He wound up with 66 total yards. He had one 11-yard run. But when they needed him to hammer the Eagles into submission, he just can't do it. I don't know what it is about him because he's big enough to do it, but he's better off the edges or getting loose when he has a big burst.
Well, Skip, he got to juke two or three guys in the backfield just to get going.
Okay, but he can't hammer away like my man Zeke used to hammer away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, used to, but that was once upon a time.
Well, you're behind, so you don't need to hammer then.
So I'm going to give you this. It was raining hard through the first three quarters, and they did lose Alshon, and they were without Aguilar, though you'd say that's an advantage.
Oh, yeah. That definitely
At this point?
And they lost Lane Johnson. So I'm going to give you all of the above, but it's still the Giants, and I got to tell you, your man bounced it to him for the first three quarters. He was scary bad. I give you the comeback. He was impressive, especially, I'll give him most of the fourth quarter. But for three quarters, almost like 3.5 quarters, I was saying, what are you doing? I know the ball's wet, but I'm seeing bounce it to him. I'm seeing wild high.
Kind of like your guy, Dak, in New England.
I don't see that.
Oh, you did see that in New England?
In New England,
yes.
When it was 30-mile-an-hour winds.
But no, it's the elements.
I didn't get any wind last night. Like, no huge gusts of wind.
Skip, you saw it. It was a deluge.
Deluge. I don't think it was a deluge. So that brings me to number 86. And if somebody can please explain to me how the Giants could go into the game and say, gee, who really cares about number 86? Because 86 is everything to Carson Wentz.
Fair.
It is his security blanket. When in doubt, he looks for 86. Actually, almost every pass play, he looks first for 86. The one thing the Cowboys have done fairly well against Philadelphia is they get it that you have to try to take him away. He is so good you can't completely take him away because even if you bracket him or double him or whatever you're trying to do, high-low him, he'll still get open because he's just too good and the quarterback trusts him too much. They have a special wavelength. So if you go into a game and you're trying to upset the Eagles, you might as well just say, well, let's first try to take 86 away. And I look up early in the second quarter and I'm saying, Giants, what are you doing? Are you trying to get blown out? Because could we see these two plays? These are two fairly early plays back to back. That's Zach Ertz. Maybe somebody should cover.
Skip, hold on, man. You see,
it's a broken play.
Thank you.
Okay, but this is not a broken play. And wait a minute.
Oh, my bad.
Nobody's home. Nobody's home. What are you doing? It's Zach Ertz. Are you trying to lose? And they couldn't even convert that. That turned into a field goal.
Right.
So then we get all the way down to a minute 53 left in regulation, and it's 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. And again, it's another ref blunder, but the clock hit zeros before the ball was snapped. If we could see this play.
Skip, if it snapped zero, the ball was in the process of
No, it was not in the process. It was definitely It should not have been allowed to be snapped. And it was a touchdown that tied the game. But I'm going to remind everybody, until 2 minutes were left in the game, Carson Wentz's offense had a grand total of 10 points against a team ranked 29th in scoring defense. 10 points? That doesn't that qualify as shameful? Shouldn't you be a little embarrassed about that?
Well, you just got
and you know what that should have been? That should have been 3rd and goal from the 7. If they'd called it, it's another referee blunder. I swear, I don't know why. Just to my eyes, my ears, my psyche, it seems like the refs in the NFL get a little worse every year. That's just what it seems like to me.
Stop it.
We see,
especially when they're calling your team's game.
Cowboy, 2 tripping penalties at New England. How do you call tripping? How do you call that? And then the N'Keal Harry play Sunday. What is that?
Hold on. So in your 40 years of following and covering the game, you've never seen official blow calls?
I've seen them blow calls, but it seems with such regularity that now it's become, like Jerry Jones always argued with me, human frailty is it's part of the game. It's part of the entertainment of the game because people love to debate, was that a bad call? Yeah, it was a bad call. So why can't you perfect your game?
No,
you have the technology to perfect it.
Because you try to perfect something that's played by imperfect human beings.
Oh.
The only difference is now is that there's more cameras. There are more eyeballs to focus on. Skip, you remember back when you first started covering, if you weren't the national game, you might have got 1 camera. That was it. Now everybody gets 5, 6 cameras. Yeah. Super Bowl gets somewhere between 20 and 30 cameras.
Yeah, there was more now.
The one that got stuck in my craw was the Mike Renfro play at Pittsburgh. It was Houston Oilers at Pittsburgh, and it was for the AFC. It was to get to the Super Bowl after the 79 season.
I was about to say 79.
And he obviously...
He toe-tapped.
He toe-tapped. He got his feet in, and they said no, and there's no review, and that was it. So Pittsburgh advanced.
Right.
And I believe beat the Rams. Beat Vince Ferragamo in the Super Bowl out here in Pasadena. Okay, so back to the end of the game. Now we get, you already mentioned this. Last play of the game, if we could see this, and you said Zach Ertz motion, he motioned a little bit.
Yeah, short motion.
I believe that the Giants had decided they'd had enough.
Oh, but stop.
They wanted to get home and get to bed or get out. Maybe they all had dinner plans in Manhattan. I don't know.
Stop.
I don't know.
Too late.
But they just decided we've had enough of this. It's cold, it's wet, it's dreary, and we are about to be 2-12.
Right.
And that's it. Let's just let Zach Ertz run free on the play of the game. Let him run free. Nobody takes him.
Because I'm looking at it, I look at the backside, and that guy's playing man at the top.
Okay.
The linebacker on the inside, I think he was going to play man, but Boston Scott picks up a blitzer. So now...
Okay, if there's a blitzer, it's probably man-to-man.
Right.
And
so I'm looking at Ogletree, and I'm looking at the DB, and I'm like, okay... Because the guy that takes the tight end, he takes one tight end to the flat. He's got him man. And I'm looking at you two guys, and they're looking at each other like
who's got him? Nobody's got him.
Right.
So the number 1 targeted receiver, the guy who had 13 targets last night, goes uncovered on the play that wins the game. Can somebody please explain that to me?
And Skip, it's really the same play that they scored the first touchdown on, is that he's already lined up, so he doesn't need to force the guy with an outside release because these guys already outside of him. On the touchdown, 24 is playing in man-to-man, so he has to stem him to get back inside of him. Well, since he's already outside of the formation, he just goes right up the field and nobody takes him. And I'm looking at 31 is looking at 47 Ogletree, and Ogletree is like he's playing an area. No. I don't know, Skip. It's hard for me to say because maybe he thought, well, once he comes back in short motion, once he comes back towards the formation, we're going to zone it off. Because it looked to me, had he stayed there, they were going to play man. But once he started coming in motion, Skip, you see the guy, he starts expanding. I'm like, what are you doing? Because even if he just throws it, if he just runs a hook route, he's going to be open because everybody's vacating the area.
You should have thrown it underhand to him. Seriously. He could have fair caught the ball. Have you ever seen somebody fair catch like a 2-yard touchdown pass? I'm here. I'll just fair catch this. It's embarrassing.
But that's what bad teams
do. And it took all the way. And when it was over, I sat back and I said, I just wasted 3.5 hours of my life.
No, you didn't.
Because it was a fait accompli from the start. It was over. They were going to the Giants were going to lose. Why would you just drain me for 3.5 hours, keeping me on the edge of my seat like maybe, but probably not.
Maybe.
First
of all, it's a 2-win Giants team, and they're playing a 5-win Eagles team. And the only reason it drained you emotionally is because you were hoping the Giants could do something you haven't failed to do. You haven't taken care of your business like you're supposed to. So you're hoping the Giants can do something you haven't done. So that's why you're mentally drained.
The reason I'm mentally drained is because I keep watching my team not have to win games, and it's because the Beagles have enabled my team not to have any sense of urgency. And I'm hoping my team didn't get lulled back to sleep by watching the game last night. Like, these guys? We're supposed to be afraid of these guys?
What about
Seriously?
What about your team's not very good? You worried about the Beagles. How about you worry about your own self?
What about the Beagles not being very good?
Okay, that's...
Because I'm going to give you this. These are two weirdly troubled teams where you keep watching them and you say, what's wrong with that? Why didn't that? What's missing here? Something is missing with the Beagles.
What about
something is missing with the Cowboys?
What's missing from the Cowboys? Yeah, tell me that.
Well, we're going to do a whole topic about that.
Apparently, we don't know.
I don't have enough time. If I had another hour, I'd tell you.
How about this, Skip? Eagles are 6-7. The Cowboys are 6-7.
Yep.
You make it seem like you guys are like y'all favorite for the Super Bowl.
Cowboys beat the Eagles. Cowboys in first place.
You beat them one time.
So I'm going to give you this. There was one little spark that scared me about the Eagles last night, and his name was Boston Scott, and he was like the fifth-string running back. And all of a sudden, he got his chance. And the reason he scares me is little Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Have you been watching him for LSU?
Yeah.
He has been their spark plug, right? And they're both from Baton Rouge, and they're both about the same size. They're both, Edwards-Helaire is 5'8", and he's 5'6", Boston Scott. But he remind you of Sproles. Well, they're both little guys.
And I'm like, how you doing this with two last names? You know, two last names, you ain't supposed to be able to do nothing. But he was kicking. Get it to it, they toss it to it.
You know what? I wish Boston Scott played for New England, because that's where he belongs. And they could use him right now.
What about James White? You want to kick James White to the curb?
I don't know.
Oh, what about Burkhead? You know, Burkhead scored the game-winning touchdown in Arrowhead last year in the championship game. You see how he quick to disregard.
Patriots ranked 23rd in rushing. They could use a little Boston.
The quarterback is ranked 20th in QBR, 30th in completion percentage, 29th in yards per attempt. So talk about that.
So Dak is now overall ranked 9th in QBR. And
hold on.
Wait a second. Bounce it to him was way down there at 9th. Is that right?
Hold on. 9th? Yeah. What's Dak ranked?
Third.
Hold on.
73 to 63 on average.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out how did that was like for the first 10, 11 weeks. He was number one. What's happening?
Yep.
He like Michael Jackson at the Motown Awards.
What happened was driving rain, 40-mile-an-hour gusts in New England. That's what happened. QBR 15, that dragged him down to 3rd.
Did you not just watch Walking to Him?
I tried to watch him for 3 quarters, and I was covering my eyes.
Okay, what don't you like about 325 and 2 tubs?
I like the end result.
I
thought he was really good down the stretch. He was against the Giants.
Yeah.
Now, you know what, Skip? Now, see, I would have had nothing to do with this stat line had they been down by 28 points and he comes back and throws for 400 and they lose like somebody else does all the time.
Like a quarterback I know who threw for 224 last Thursday night at Chicago.
And then what he called?
In the fourth quarter.
And had a deep dish L, courtesy of Shea's place.
Wow.
Deep dish. So the Eagles are at Washington before the Cowboys.
You know, that's kind of interesting.
That team, they're not going away yet.
They're 6-point favorites. They should take care of business.
But I told you yesterday, our last segment, are the Eagles going to cover the 8.5? I'm like, hell no, it's going to be like a late second kick, game-winning kick or something. And lo and behold, they get a walk-off touchdown at the end.
Shameful,
but they wouldn't cover.
Embarrassing.
Head
scratching.
Hold on. Y'all been favored against every team except the Patriots, and you've been losing the last 5 weeks.
I can't defend it, but it's now the season's about to start right now.
And y'all by the end. So y'all losing on Sunday.
No mercy.
The NFL is investigating the Patriots over a crew filming the Bengals sideline from the press box in the Bengals-Browns game on Sunday. New England released a statement that said the film crew worked independently of football operations and was working on a feature involving the Patriots scouting department. And yesterday, Bill Belichick also said that this was something that the team had, quote, 100% nothing to do with. So, Shannon, what do you make of all this?
He's lying. This is a really bad look, Skip. I played for Mike Shanahan from 1995 to 1999 and 2002 to 03. And he had the kind of control Bill Belichick has. Nothing that was football related happen without Mike Shanahan's blessing. Zero. Coach Belichick would have you believe that somebody hired an independent film crew to chart behind to do your jobs, and each week it's a different person that's doing his job to help the Patriots best achieve their ultimate goal, get to and win the Super Bowl by doing their jobs. That's what Coach Belichick would have you believe. So this is a rogue individual. Skip Bayless, how many times have you ever seen a Patriots player dive with the ball in his hand towards the end zone? You've never seen it because Coach Belichick understands that there's more risk than good that can come from that. Coach Belichick had a route, Skip, when we talked about it yesterday, when Tom Brady threw the ball to Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman then threw the ball to Amendola for a touchdown. But what they had done is that they violated the spirit of the rule. They had players that had ineligible numbers lined up as eligible, and players that have eligible numbers lined up as ineligible.
And that loophole got closed.
And it got closed. So Coach Belichick knows everything.
Yep.
Skip Bayless. Now, it's hard for me to believe that this videographer, this video company came from outside the Boston area. The Boston area. So what they are very everybody. I guarantee you ask anybody at the age of 18 or older what is Spygate, they can tell you. So that you want me to believe that this independent videographers, that's what they want you to believe, they're independent, Skip, didn't know this? Now, Skip, because here's what happened now. Diana Rossini's reporting, a source told her that the Bengals employee who was watching the videographer, cameraman, identified himself as a Robert Kraft employee. The Bengals employee kept an eye on the monitor, and the Bengals coaches and staff on the sideline were shot for the entire first quarter. That's what she's reporting.
Okay.
Skip, in a 2015 interview, story about Deflategate and Spygate, videographers were told to wear credentials that said Kraft Productions. And if they were taping or found themselves questioned, tell them that they were filming for a team show. The videographer said, Skip, when he flagged the Bengals employee, he flagged media relations. They said that Bengals security interviewed the Kraft videographer. The tape was, and this was also taped, and the cameraman asked, could the footage be deleted and it all be forgotten? Skip, let me ask you a question. Okay, I go in and I stick up a bank. I get me a couple of thousand, 100,000, whatever I get, Skip, and I'm driving.
I hope you get more than that.
No, Skip, you know there's only so much you can get. You got to get it beside the register because all the other stuff going to have down it. It's going to explode in the car. No, I'm just saying, Skip, I just heard. I don't know if it's true. So I get this money, and I'm driving away.
Feeling good.
I hear sirens. I go take the money back. Look here, I'm bringing you the money back. Can we all forget this all happened? Skip, why you...
Well, you have to offer the officers some, right?
Yeah.
No, I just want to get the... Can you not press charges on me? Skip, if he thought he did nothing wrong, why would you want to erase the footage? You've done nothing wrong. Skip, you know this. You know how bad this looked. Why would Coach... Again, this happened... Josh McDaniels lost his job in Denver because he said the very videographer that did this on the original Spygate, he had him in Denver. They tried to take the 49ers walkthrough in London.
They did.
And guess what the guy said? I'm rogue.
Yeah.
When did you know, Coach Belichick, to have a rogue operative? Of all this. But you see what they're trying to do, and everybody's trying to get out from under this because this is what people haven't given the Patriots the credit that the Patriots feel they deserve because this thing of Spygate is hovering around. And although they say, well, Coach Belichick, who benefited the most from the learned signals and the tendencies of a defense? Who benefited the most? Who has the ball the most in their hands, Skip Bayless? This is an awful look. I was told from a very, very reliable source, Skip, that the original Spygate was 10 times worse than what the NFL ever said. And Commissioner Goodell said, destroy those tapes. Those tapes are not to leave that building.
Yep.
And they destroyed everything.
They did.
Without even seeing it. Now, when have you ever known cops to destroy it? Skip, you going to destroy evidence without seeing it? You're investigating this. You want to get to the bottom of this. So you're going to take their word for it. And people will say, well, why are they taping a 1-12 team? Well, the team that they got busted for, his second lieutenant, which is Eric Mangini, they finished the season at 4-12. So what this goes to show you, your record does not matter. I'm trying to gain tendencies of what you do. Because if you go back, Skip, and listen to Do Your Job, Coach Belichick is looking at the sidelines from the Super Bowl, and he said, where is he standing? Where is Sean McVay standing? Because where he stands give you tendencies on what he might or might not call or do. How do you learn that, Skip? This is a bad look. But let me tell you what should happen.
Yes.
If it's proven that they taped this, Coach Belichick's got to go.
Well, I think it's proven they taped it.
No. Because see what he's trying to.
He had knowledge of it?
Yes. Yeah. There's no way to say he did not, Skip. He's got to go.
So you're saying he should be fired over this?
The NFL should, Coach Mr. Kraft won't fire him, but the NFL should remove him. Wow. This is a terrible look, given that you've already, Skip, you lost draft picks, 250. The team was fined $500,000, and you did it again? You know you can't take the sideline of the coaches.
That's a strong statement you just made. Bill Belichick should be removed from his job. Okay, I'm at conflict here. I'm at cross purposes because every time in our history together on this show that you have brought up Bill Belichick as the greatest coach ever, I either cringe or I fight back that it's hard for me to even consider him that because of his reputation. He has scoundrel in him.
Yes.
He has from the start.
Yes.
Remember, I'm going to go all the way back to the first 2 Super Bowls after the 01 season, 02 season. Rams, Panthers. Executives from each of those teams publicly accused the Patriots of videotaping their walkthroughs the Saturday ahead of those 2 Super Bowls.
Correct.
Which obviously the Patriots won both.
Correct.
And again, nothing was ever validated or verified or proven. But even Marty Herney, who was then the GM of the Panthers, had a radio show after he left his job. And he publicly said, I absolutely have proof that they did this to us. Then we come to Spygate first. And you know and I know what happened. You just detailed it. And it was just the worst. He was caught red-handed because he got the whistle blown on him by a chip off the old block, our man Eric Mangini, who was then the new head coach of the Jets.
Correct.
And the story goes that he called Bill the week before they were about to play and said, Bill, you do it to everybody, just please don't do it to me.
The thing, Bill, I know that thing that you do.
Yep.
That was his words. I know that little thing that you do, just don't do it to us. And what did he say? F you. I'm doing it to you.
I think he didn't say a word. He just did it.
Exactly.
And Eric
So, in
said,
other words,
okay, F you.
Thank you.
I'm making a call on Monday morning to the league office, and here they went.
Well, they caught him red-handed because they were doing it at the game that Sunday.
They caught him. Yep, you're right. Which brings us to Deflategate, and I will go to my grave saying Tom Brady was telling the truth about he didn't know, but I've always been a little suspicious of his head coach who called a press conference on the Saturday between weeks of the Super Bowl.
What did he say?
And remember, he said, I know nothing, basically.
Ask Tom.
Ask the QB.
Ask the quarterback.
And what did he say on this, Skip? I don't know anything about it. I heard something about it. All I know is that all I get an opportunity to do is see the finished product. Really?
So, again, I think if somehow the footballs were illegally deflated, I think he knows all, sees all, and had something to do with issuing the order that got passed down through the ranks, and whichever one of those guys took the balls in the bathroom or whatever happened.
Skip, what's so hard for me to come to grips with? A team that's so meticulous that everybody toes the line. They say the same thing. It's almost like Gattaca. Everybody dresses the same. They walk the same. They toe the line. But these employees that's not football related, they're willing to go rogue. They're willing to go it alone, be these lone wolves, and do things that they know Coach Belichick. Skip, do you believe that Coach Belichick will get a guy? Skip, Chandler Jones was the best defensive lineman he's had since Richard Seymour. Chandler Jones had one incident where he did something and Coach Belichick got him up out of there. Coach Belichick does not play. He does not do lone wolves. He doesn't do anything that would, if you do something that might cause shame on the organization, he'll get you up out of there. Now, if you did something for somebody else's organization, he said, I'll give you a chance. You didn't do that for us. Skip, this is a horrible look for the 100-year anniversary. The guy that they're naming these 100 greatest players. They're gonna have the 100 greatest coaches and all this, and this dumps in the lap of the NFL.
Okay, so now I'm going to address what you call what should be a job costing violation.
Yes.
I'm going to read again what the Patriots said. We understand and acknowledge that our video crew, which included an independent contractor who shot the video, unknowingly violated a league policy. So they're saying yes, we're caught red-handed, but we had no idea, and that it was innocent in its approach because they needed the video because the episode, it's for Do Your Job,
Yes.
which they post on the website.
Right.
It's a web series.
Yes.
That it's going to be the life and times of an advanced scout.
Okay.
What is your life like? What's Sunday like?
goes into it?
So they went through proper channels to get credentials from the Cleveland Browns.
Correct.
Because it was Cincinnati at Cleveland.
Correct.
And they went up in the press box as a crew, and I read yesterday at least one of the members of the crew was wearing a New England, some kind of T-shirt
Yes.
or sweatshirt or something.
Yes.
So they were readily identified
Right.
as those are from New England.
Right.
So it's hard for me to believe that they would so brazenly be up in the press box doing something that's technically illegal, and they wouldn't even, they'd be trying to hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to believe that they were really doing
Skip,
this.
think about it. Eric Mangini said, Skip, okay, Skip, you and I have been partners. We partners. We've been partners for 20 years. I said, Skip, I'm gonna do the thing the right way now. I'm gonna do right by everybody. I got this operation going on, and I know what we did before. You can continue to do it, but just don't rob my bank. You say, Shannon, F you. I'm gonna hit your bank tomorrow at noon. I got no choice but to turn you in. That's brazen. The man tells you, I know what you're doing.
But this is so brazen, it's dumb. And Belichick, one thing he's not as dumb.
Skip, but here's the thing. They said, and the Bengals guy says, they did film the advanced scout. But after they stopped that, the entire first quarter was on the sideline of the coaches and the coaches.
Yeah.
So what does that got to do? So what does that got to do with advanced scouting? He knew. They knew.
Okay, now this is just one quick point of order, and I get you, and I respect everything you just said, and you could be dead right about this, and if you are, he should go. This is a job-losing violation.
Yes.
But in the end, I've never understood the rule that you couldn't videotape defensive signals on the sideline because you can change those. It's like baseball.
Right.
You know, anybody can watch what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're just saying you can't videotape them and take them in at halftime and try to break them down
Right.
to decide, oh, it's this must mean this to this,
Right.
right? To match it up to the tape.
Correct.
Okay. To me, that's not cheating the way taping a walkthrough is cheating because then you can see a trick play they might run. You can see things that would really help you. Remember, Peyton Manning has been quoted as saying, when he played games at Foxborough, at Gillette, you do not have a meaningful conversation inside the locker room.
Everything was in the hallway.
You have to go out in the hall to have a strategic conversation. Well, now that's really cheating if, in fact, a locker room is bugged. That's over-the-line cheating. That's a fireable offense, right?
And you remember how, Skip, for the longest time, the audio somehow would always seem to go out on the visitors.
That's a whole nother issue.
And it's like, well, how is it every time the audio goes out, but theirs is working fine?
Okay. I don't have a huge issue with taping the signals because you should change them maybe at halftime every game.
No.
But the point is, well, seriously.
That's
I mean,
too
it's
hard,
just like
Skip.
How hard is
baseball.
it?
Yeah, it's very hard.
Well,
To
I don't
manage.
know. In baseball, you have to keep changing your sequence of pitch. When you get a runner on second,
Right.
you got to do your shin guard tap. You
Right.
got to do something to change the signal,
Skip,
right?
Coach Belichick. You know Coach Belichick is always trying to gather information. You remember when Micah Hyde picked Tom Brady against Buffalo?
And he
He ran up to him at the end of the game. What did he say?
So was that you?
You picked him?
Yeah.
Ask him. All he's trying to do is gather information. He's a hoard of information.
I don't even think he knows Mike Hyde. I don't think he'd ever coach him in a pro.
He
Bowl.
wants to know, why did he pick? Why was he there? Why did he make that pick? He's like, well, he stared him down.
Okay.
Coach Belichick is always trying to gain information. There's knowledge in those tapes.
So my bottom line to this, I think it's kind of a silly rule that you can't tape signals on the sideline, defensive or offensive signals. But it is a rule.
It's a rule.
And I can't change that. And they're admitting, yeah, we accidentally violated the rule with a film crew that's independent contractors. And Belichick is adamantly saying, I don't know anything about those people. They work for our website.
Who work doing football stuff. So not only are they gathering stuff on the road, they have access to the locker room. They go into meetings and things of that nature. So Coach Belichick knows nothing.
It feels like he would have to.
Coach
at least
Belichick
know
knows
what
everything.
they
If
would
it's
have to do.
football related, Skip,
I'll buy that.
Coach Belichick knows everything. He knows all.
So now we wait for a statement from the NFL. They apparently do have a video of their own. They're reviewing it, so we'll have to see what they make of this. I mean, it's still very early.
No mercy.
According to Fox Bet, the Cowboys and Rams this Sunday is currently a pick'em. This after the Cowboys widely opened as a 4-point favorite before the line quickly moved in the Rams' favor after that win. So, Shannon, what does this tell you?
I think people are starting to realize that the Rams are a better team, especially, Skip, you and I we bet for fun. We bet 5 cases of due. But there are people that make a living betting.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking $5 and $15. In order for you to move a line like this, there was some heavy 6 figures coming in. To go from -4 to a pick'em, do you know how much money has to come in to swing a line, Skip?
It's
a lot.
Staggering.
Yes!
Yep.
So that's telling me heavy hitters, people that do this for a living, said, oh, you give me 4 points? Give me that.
Oh.
And guess what? The -3, -2, because the home team normally gets -3. So they were saying even with an extra point, the Cowboys are better than the Rams. But somebody came in, somebody or somebody's laid some heavy 6 figures, taking that 4 in the Rams. And they had to hurry up and move that line because they lost their butt this week, Skip. There are a lot of games that cause people to lose their butts. Your Patriots, your Cowboys on Thanksgiving, the Houston Texans got beat. Tennessee put a number on. So there are a lot that went a long way. Green Bay lost because I think they were giving up 8 to 10. Skip, the pick'em for me. Now, I thought it would probably open up at -1.
Cowboys minus?
Cowboys -1 because they're at home and they have been favored in every game with the exception of the New England game. So I've said even though the Rams have played better the last couple of weeks, this is still the Cowboys and they're still at home. But when that line zoomed down like it did, that's telling me, Skip, there are a lot of people that bet for a living and they, the thing with bettors now, Skip, they do advanced analytics too. They do their scouting.
Sure.
I'm good with the Rams. I would have taken the head up. Me and Skip Bayless got about 3 or 4 cases on this thing straight up.
How many bands did you plunk down?
I ain't put no bands on that.
I think you influenced this line heavily.
I might have put a little something last week with the Cowboys and old my homeboy. Might have put a rack or 2 on it.
Good to know.
Interesting.
Good to know.
So, traditionally, and most people get this, they open these lines way in favor of the Dallas Cowboys because so many people tend to jump on America's team, and just blindly bet America's team. So they try to encourage you to bet on the opponent.
Right.
But in this case, as I always tell you, I try to guess the point spread before I see or hear what this point spread is.
Right.
I thought because the Rams are suddenly so hot, I thought they should be a 1 or 2 point favorite going to Dallas. That's what I thought it should be. It opened at, some sites had it as much as 4.5.
Okay.
So 4 Fox Bet. And plunging to 0 to pick 'em is, as you say, it's significant.
Yes.
And I am very happy this is happening because I am sick and tired of my team being a prohibitive favorite in all of these games, except the New England game, which, by the way, they covered at New England because it was 13-9.
Right.
They were 6.5-point dogs. But in this case, I love this because it's time to fish or cut bait here. This is shaming my team. This is the public scrambling and screaming, you're a bunch of overrated frauds. They're getting shamed publicly with this point spread because people are saying, you got no shot against this team. We can't get enough money on it fast enough.
Right.
And I love that for my team right here, right now, because it's time to either get exposed as a fraud or get exposed as what I thought they were, which is a really good football team.
Hey, frauds.
Yeah.
But Skip, if you are a for real bettor, it's hard for me to believe they have favorite teams because they can never bet with their heart. Everything has to be strategic. It has to be a head bet. Hard bet gets you bankrupt. It gets you divorced. It gets you living on Skid Row. That'll get you betting with your heart. So you got to be like, oh, I just love the Cowboys. Let me lay $500,000 on them because I like them. That's not how bettors bet. Fans, that's how they bet. They'll bet $10. Oh, I love the Cowboys. That's my team. Or you see some people, they pick the Super Bowl. Well, why'd you pick that team? Oh, I like their colors. That's not how bettors do it. That's not how serious bettors bet.
Okay, what are people using the eye test to tell them right here, right now? Last Thursday night, I can't defend this, we sat and watched with our very own eyes.
And the Thursday before that.
Well, but
and the Sunday before that.
Well, the last one was the one because that was Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah.
Looking like Lamar Trubisky against the Dallas Cowboys.
Lamar Trubisky.
He ran wild and threw wild on my Cowboys.
And you guys were looking like the Giants.
And what do we see from the Rams? All of a sudden, here they came.
Figured it out.
They went to Kyler Murray and said, watch this. They're up 34-0 after 3 quarters, and they win 34-7. And then here they came on Sunday night, and they made a statement at home against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks.
About to make another
so your
one.
eye test is just hitting you between the eyes with, one team has figured it out and the other team still hasn't figured it out. So all of a sudden, they've won 2 straight the Rams have. That's 3 of 4 they've won, and that's 5 out of 7. But I'm going to put this in some perspective. There's one good thing. There's one silver lining about my team that you have to be careful of. They still don't have a shameful loss yet. I thought the loss at the Bears was as embarrassing as it's gotten this year, but it wasn't like Tampa Bay going to LA and winning 55-40, or Jimmy G and company just dismantling the Rams in their building 20-7, or the Rams off a bye week going to Pittsburgh and losing to Mason Rudolph 17-12, or dare I say, a recent Monday night when Lamar and company came out to the Coliseum here in La La Land and it was 45-6 Baltimore. I'm just reminded those things happened this year, this season.
It's the way you guys are losing.
Okay.
I mean, y'all losing by double digit at home. And y'all didn't Skip, but here's the thing, Skip. You guys are never really in the game. I mean, the score is, like Jerry said. You look at the score, but Jerry said the score is not indicative. You're falling behind 31-3. You're falling behind by 23 touchdowns. And you're coming up short. So, yeah, you got some very demoralizing and discouraging losses.
Okay. So what discourages and demoralizes me about my team is not the offense. It's still explosive. It's still number 1 in yards. It's number 1 in yards per play. It's number 1 in first downs. And it's number 1 in third down conversions.
Where are you in
Those are all good.
Points.
My defense is pathetic.
Yeah.
It's way overrated. And I've said this from the start. It horrifies me, and it still sounds like Leighton Vander Esch is probably not going to be able to go Sunday.
He might be done for the year, Skip.
It still sounds like Jeff Heath might be done for the year, and now I'm starting to love Jeff Heath after I...
No, yeah, exactly.
He's all I got.
Because you've been trying to replace him for the longest. You wanted Georgia Loca. You wanted everybody to replace him.
You know who I wanted. I wanted that guy in Baltimore. Yeah, give me that guy, and I got Super Bowl, here we come. But Jeff Heath is wearing braces on both shoulders. He's got 2 labrums that are torn. He's a mess.
No, he ain't playing.
Yeah, I just don't think he's going to be able to play. And then Antoine Woods, the anchor of the line, he's got a drug arrest issue going on. That's one thing, and he's injured. So, again, you take the heart out of the defense, and they've fallen down. Now they're 12th in points allowed. Pro Football Focus has them as the 13th best defense. They're just a middle-of-the-pack defense, and it's not good enough.
Hold on. So I'm just trying to figure out how this is the defense point. Defense is a problem. Defense is the problem. You're number 1 in yards as an offensive unit. Jenny, you're number 1 in yards.
Yeah.
You're big strike. You're number 1 in yards per play, and you're first and third down conversions.
Yep.
But you're 12th in points scored. How is that the defense's problem?
Because the defense can never set an early tone. We fall behind like crazy, and you know and I know. And finally, Dak said, okay, I got this. And against Buffalo, and then at Chicago, he went whoosh for an early touchdown, and the defense is hapless.
I'm glad you said that, because what is happening is, that lets you know that it's empty calories. Because you fall behind so badly, you get all these yards, but you're not getting any points out of it. You see what's happening, Skip?
You got some points.
You ain't got no point, not enough.
Yeah. Boy,
Green Bay had 34. How many do you have?
My quarterback almost made it a game.
No, you didn't. No, see, walk it to him made it a game. Not only did he make it a game, he took the game. Snatched it.
Yeah, it was impressive.
From defeat.
Yeah, against the 29th ranked scoring defense.
Whoa, time out.
Come on.
Oh.
I mean, the Bears are a legit defense.
Hold up. Yeah. But you tell me you got a legit offense. You're number 1. So you should be able to move the ball.
Well, we did. We moved it up and down the field.
No, you did not.
No.
No.
My quarterback
skip it.
224 in the fourth quarter that should have been 276.
Well,
he had Cedric Wilson right in the hands with another touchdown pass that would have caused an onside kick.
Now, the game I played, now a lot has changed since I retired. And
I know, you guys played only 3 quarters.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, because clearly.
They ended the game after
So they only play 4 quarters. So they start the game, kick off at 1 o'clock. So you got the 4th quarter, and that's it? Because what is Dak doing the first 3? Why are we in this position? I need to know, why are we here?
Defense isn't good enough.
No. So I just, like you always tell me, do you play make it, take it? So if I score a touchdown, don't I have to kick the ball to you? So I kick the ball to you, you go 3 and out. I get it again. I score. I kick the ball back to you. What are you doing? I'm giving you the ball, Skip.
Well, you keep telling me they go as far as Ezekiel Elliott will take them.
But that's
and
not
guess
what
what? He's not the same anymore.
And your guy, guess what? Your guy got all these yards, and what did he got to show for it? A 6 and 7 resume.
He's got first place to show for it.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Eagles are in first.
He's sitting pretty.
After this week, the Eagles will be in first.
Well, right now, the Dallas Cowboys, we're deep. We're to week 15. They're still in first place.
Thank you,
Beagles.
You remember, Skip? In week 16, you guys had Dak, his rookie year, had what? He was number one in what, Skip? QBR.
Oh.
And week 17, when it's ended, what was that? Where was he at?
Okay. Week 17?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
With his rookie year in week 16, he went to week 17, number one in QBR.
Yeah, and what happened?
But he came out. Well, who was number one?
Okay.
He wasn't.
They'd already clinched the division. They went to Philly to play a meaningless game. He threw 8 passes and completed 4.
All games are meaningful.
And it dropped his QBR to 3rd in the league.
So if it's not meaningful, did he collect the check? So tell Jared said, don't stop paying him.
And then he outplayed Aaron Rodgers in a
No, he didn't.
But they had no defense to back him up.
Skip, don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, he did. He threw for 305 and 3 touchdowns. That'll work.
How many of them?
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers had them raced out to that lead, and you just thought you had something. And Aaron Rodgers said, I'm going to go to Jared. Because it was big shiny.
You know what? I like where my team sits right now.
I know you don't.
I like it.
Oh, no, you don't.
I want a challenge on Sunday, and this is going to be a huge challenge.
It will be a challenge.
What about the Sunday before?
This is going to be a measuring stick. This is the kind of game, are you a man or are you a mouse?
Yeah.
They shouldn't be measuring, though, in December. It feels a bit late to be measuring. The Patriots have lost 2 in a row after starting the season 10-1, and many are pointing fingers at the offense. Former Patriots safety Rodney Harrison said New England has a lot of problems, and Brady is, quote, not the same player. But coming to Brady's defense was former wide receiver Nate Burleson. Burleson said the Patriots receivers don't know the playbook as well as Brady, which is what has slowed down the New England offense. So, Shannon, whose side are you on?
Rodney Harrison. Because I know, Rodney, how painful this must be. Tom Brady, he's won championships with Tom Brady. It's hard to criticize a former teammate. And I think Rodney and Tom are friends. Teammates, friends, win together, Skip, it's hard. It's hard to do that. Because you know what the fans in that locale in which you played, you know they're going to normally come to the quarterback's defense. But Rodney is absolutely right. What I can't understand is that when the Patriots was 8-0, I hear nothing about offensive line. I didn't hear anything about wide receivers or anything.
Yeah, but you told me they hadn't played anything.
Whoa, Skip! This is my turn. Now, I was talking about the defense being historically great. Where was that? So it's hard now. All the credit that Tom gets when they win, we're going to place the blame elsewhere when they lose. Now, you do know that 28-point comeback, 25-point, 28-3 comeback they had, you know, Gronk was on IR with a torn ACL. You know Gronk wasn't in that game, Jenny? I don't know if you noticed that. James White and Julian Edelman. That's what he had.
I know.
And everybody said, woo, Tom, look at Tom.
Wait, did he have an offensive line?
Oh, you see? But here's Skip.
Debatable.
So, yeah, which one was Jonathan Ogden? Which one was Walter Jones? Which one was Travis Frederick? I just need to know Zach Martin.
You know who it was? Dante Scarnecchia. That's who that was. All rolled into one.
Is he not there now?
He was making miracles.
He's not there now.
71 years of age.
So he's not there now?
Yep.
I just want to know.
They brought him out of retirement.
Hold on. Okay, I just want to know one thing. Is Dante Scarnecchia, is he still the offensive line coach?
He's trying.
Oh, so now, wait a minute now.
Yep.
He made spare parts out of the other group. So which is it? He's out of Miracles?
Yep. He ran out of
Well,
he's only down to his 3rd string center. They played their 3rd string center last week.
Skip.
You like that?
Skip.
Travis Frederick.
People hate to admit it. But you told me Father Time is undefeated. So why can...
I didn't tell you that with Brady.
No, exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
So Father Time is undefeated with everybody else except Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's going to decide. Tom Brady can play till he's 65.
50.
Skip, it's okay that this is happening because it's happening to the greats. There were guys that had more talent than Tom Brady. And when Father Time came, he came. He's not the same guy because Tom Brady used to could elevate those guys. What made Tom is that he took guys that weren't Randy Moss. They weren't Michael Irvin and Jerry Rice. He took guys that were lesser tier, and he could go do things with it. Now that he can't do it, we blame the receivers. When you never gave the receivers credit when they were winning. I didn't hear anything about David Gibbons. I didn't hear anything about Patton and Troy Brown and Chris Hogan. I didn't hear anything about that, those running backs. Kevin Falk never got this. Kevin Falk, when did he turn into Marshall Falk? That's what made them so unique, is that they weren't littered with Hall of Fame players.
You told me once upon a time Rob Gronkowski just might be the best tight end ever.
Yes.
Right?
And when I tried to tell you that, you told me he was winning Super Bowls before Gronk got there.
Well, he did, and then he...
I told everybody. I said, y'all don't realize how easy Gronk makes Tom Brady's job. Boo, boy, you don't know what you talk about. You're a Tom Brady hater. No, I just realized how great Gronk is.
Yes,
That's what
you are a Tom Brady hater.
Skip. So I'm just trying to figure out. He come back from 23-8, comes back from that with Julian Edelman and James White, who's still on the roster. Edelman now is even more accomplished. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's the second leading receiver as far as catches, yards, and touchdowns in the postseason. That's not enough. Now, when they're winning, everybody tells me, even Skip Bayless, Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer. Now that they're losing, little tiny Julian Edelman, who's a former college quarterback, James White, who has the most reception in a playoff game in NFL history, and he did it in the
Tell me when
game.
it's my turn. Now?
Rodney Harrison is absolutely right. Tom Brady isn't the same guy.
So I'm going to put you on the hot seat right now. I want to hear right here, right now. Tom Brady has lost velocity.
It's not about that. That's not about that.
Has he lost velocity? Has he lost nerve in the pocket? Has he lost any athletic mobility and quickness in the pocket? Has he lost all that? Is he proverbially falling off the cliff? Is that what we're saying?
Hey, you said what you want to say. It's your turn to talk. You said you want to talk. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm asking you. I want to know.
I've made my point.
Because I know what I see and don't see. I see the same old Tom Brady.
Okay, why are they struggling then? Why are they struggling?
It's my turn.
Okay, then stop asking me questions.
Okay, so a year ago this week, they played at Pittsburgh and they lost their second straight game, 17-10 at Pittsburgh after they had a debacle of a breakdown thanks to Bill Belichick's special teams team at Miami. And they lost a game they should not have lost, and it put them in Kansas City for the AFC Championship game. And you told me after the second loss in a row at Pittsburgh, you had all the video up. Drop that track, DJ, because Tom Brady was flinching in the pocket on the last throw to Edelman, right? And I said, no, he's not. Watch what's about to happen. And you know what happened? You bet against him twice in a row.
What happened?
The Chargers and then at Kansas City.
Skip? Number one running attack.
Yeah, here they went.
Number one running attack.
He actually had a semblance of an offensive line last year. Right now, they can't do any of these things. They can't protect him, and he never had great mobility. Obviously, you saw his 40-yard dash at the Combine, and they cannot run it a lick. They have fallen all the way to 23rd, and Sony Michel has fallen deep into the doghouse because down the stretch now, they rely on James White to run the football when, in truth, he's a pass-catching back. That's all he is, and all they do is try to run him in the second half of close games. It's shameful what's happening, because the defense, you've already told me, is overrated. And I sat back and watched the defense the other day in the first half give up a 3rd and 19 and a 2nd and 25 for a touchdown. And then they finally clamped down in the fourth quarter. But the offense also started to take off because they started keeping people in to block the blitz. So what do I see from the offensive line? Again, they were down to their 3rd string center on Sunday. David Andrews, I think, is pretty good, but he's gone for the year. And then the backup, Karras, I don't think he was very good. And then they started somebody named James Ferentz, who was on his 3rd team, and he's the 3rd string center. And Dante Scarnecchia is not making miracles this year with a bunch of spare parts.
Why not?
And it got so bad that Isaiah Wynn, who hasn't played very much football because he's been hurt, but he's a first-round pick. I don't know if we have this play, but late in the first half, he just let Frank Clark just blow right by him. This is the only blocker you have. That's your first-string tackle, your left tackle, and Brady gets sacked from the blind side. What do you have to throw there? there? Like 1.3 seconds before he gets sacked?
Whatever.
Behind?
But remember, Skip, but he's getting that. Remember, Joey
Lord
Bosa
have
said,
mercy.
Joey Bosa said last year, you heard the track, you played it.
So,
he's just so quick.
You always tell me you have to update your resume. Is Julian Edelman updating his Super Bowl MVP resume? No, he is not. He is leading the league by far with 10 drops this year. 10 drops. And guess who surged to number 1 in drops as a receiving core this past Sunday with 4 more? The Patriots have dropped the most passes in the National Football League. And guess what? The New England Patriots tight ends as a whole group, they're ranked 31st in catches. They're last in touchdown catches. They went from Rob Gronkowski last year, who caught 47 balls by himself, to they have a grand total of 29 catches because the starting tight end is named Matt Lacoste. He got cut twice by the Giants, once by the Jets, and once by your Denver Broncos, and now he's the starter for the Patriots. And guess who his backup is? Benjamin Watson, who is about next week to turn 39 years old. That's all you got? Are you kidding me?
You said something in all that what you just said. You said, what does the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe says? Update your resume. When is Tom Brady going to update his resume?
He's got
this
nothing.
This is not about 6 Super Bowls.
You know what?
This is not about the AFC
Okay, I dare you to tell me I'm wrong about this. This is the worst receiving core in football. I can't find one that's worse than this one. Mohamed Sanu has become like a bust of a pickup. You told me you see no burst from him, right?
I didn't see anything.
So wait a second. Emmanuel Sanders might have been out there on the market, but you took Mohamed Sanu. And you gave up a second-round draft pick for him, and he gets you nowhere, right? And N'Keal Harry was your first-round pick, and I am a big fan of his. He played 2 snaps on Sunday, and if you can explain that to me, you're way ahead of me because I've seen 2 little splash plays from N'Keal Harry. I saw the touchdown catch against Dallas. It was the only touchdown they had in the game, and I saw what should have been a touchdown on Sunday.
Yep. What separates the top guys, what's always separated the top guys, is when they didn't have a running game, they could go get it done. When Big Ben didn't have a running game, he could win a game with nothing. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning,
you have to
John
have
Elway.
some protection.
No,
yes.
Skip,
yes.
no. See, it's always...
You got nothing. You got no run game and no receivers and no offensive line. You're kidding me. You know what would happen? If you threw Patrick Mahomes into this, he would turn into a disaster of a desperation interception thrower.
Okay, Skip,
want to bet?
I want to leave.
Because he would just be out of his mind, and he would probably get more banged up than he is right now.
Skip, I never heard you yell the praise for the offensive line and Julian Edelman when they win.
No, I did.
Like
I always
you yell
said.
the blame when they lose.
No, I always said.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I used to say Dante Scarnecchia makes miracles.
No.
Because they're spare parts.
All I'm saying, Skip, is that what the people are doing, they heap all the praise. If Brady has 6, Brady. But when they start to lose, oh, it's the offensive line. Oh, Scandrick can't make miracles. Julian Edelman, he's only 5'11". James White is only 5'6". Those same guys that he won Super Bowls with, multiples, are not enough now. What about Tom Brady? Is he enough?
Julian Edelman's in his 11th year and leads the league in drops.
And Tom Brady is in his 20th season. In his 20th season.
You know what? I see no
Of course
drop-off.
not.
Zero. And you don't either. You're so
said,
lucky because, you know what? We just talked about what a scoundrel you think Bill Belichick is. Even now you think he should lose his job. You know what? You know what scoundrels can do? They can rig it where Tom Brady is sabotaged. Seriously. Well, this is the team builder. What do you tell me about? What did you just say? You played for Mike Shannon and had total control, right?
Yes.
Bill Belichick has total control of this roster. It is an embarrassment what he has handed Tom Brady as a supporting cast. Embarrassment. Show me. Terrible offensive line, no run game, terrible group of receivers. How can any quarterback survive with this? This is the worst supporting cast in football.
But you never said Bill Belichick is great when he got him Randy Moss, when he got him Wes Welker, when he got him Darrelle Revis, when he got Ty Law.
Okay, well, what has he done for you lately? What has he done for you?
What has he done for you lately?
Update your resume.
Tell Tom Brady update his resume.
It's sabotage.
Tell Tom Brady update his resume.
You could throw Drew Brees into this offense.
Don't do that, Skip.
A disaster.
I'm not going to let you put this
one on Coach Belichick. And I know it.
I can't let you do that to Coach Belichick.
I am doing it, and I just did it to you.
You want everybody to update their resume.
Show me where I'm wrong.
Tom Brady.
Show me where I'm wrong.
Tom Brady, update your resume.
Nobody could do that.
Update it.
You could put Lamar Jackson in the middle of this, and he would be a disaster.
It's 2019. Yeah. What happened from 2001 to 2018 is inconsequential to me. Update that resume, bro.
Okay, here we go again.
Facing the Bengals, 1-12, so if the offense can't figure it out against them, they're in trouble. So they do have
Now,
a new team to
I don't want Tom Brady.
On to Cincinnati.
I don't want Tom Brady to throw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Because if he does now, he's going to be doing it with what, Jenny? Throwing to Julian Edelman, James White, and Matt Lacoste. That same offensive line. Because Walter Jones is not coming back. Jonathan Ogden is not coming back. So if he does that, so what is it telling you, Skip?
Told you he's got one hope and one hope only, N'Keal Harry.
Oh, one hope
I
only.
said that last week, and I'm saying it again this week. He played 2 snaps last week.
You were just out on him against Houston.
No, I wasn't.
You said he didn't fight for the ball.
Okay, remember,
rookie.
that was his first game.
Yeah.
First
And
game.
he was out with
No, he
injury for
wasn't.
so long.
He caught the first game. He caught a touchdown against
That
the
was his
Eagles.
second game.
Well, it took overtime, but Carson Wentz led Philly on a second-half comeback to force overtime and get the win against Eli Manning and the Giants. With a depleted receiving core, the Eagles relied heavily on Zach Ertz, who caught 2 touchdowns, including the game-winning catch in OT. With the win, the Eagles are now 6-7 and sit alongside the Cowboys atop the NFC East. And joining us now, former Cowboys and Eagles cornerback Orlando Scandrick.
Oh, here we go.
Good morning.
Turn up.
Good to
Stay
have you
safe.
with us.
What we got this morning?
All right, Orlando.
He already started off. He had started off 0-1 because
Really?
his picking. Not to
gonna
be the
call
lie.
him out
Every
like
time we
that?
let him pick, Skip, you know he 0-2. He told you Philly was going to lose in Buffalo, and he told you New England was going to beat the.
But you know what the Chiefs earned? Another trip to Foxborough. I don't know
that?
nobody signing up saying, "Hey, sign me up.
Yeah.
Let's go to
Very good.
That's a
Foxborough."
good point, actually. He's
That's a
1-0
good-
today, Shannon.
Whatever.
Let's talk about what you saw last night. How impressed were you with your former team?
It was laughable.
Thank you.
They
Agreed.
won. You know, I'll give it to them, but that was laughable. That was pitiful. You're not gonna beat nobody except for the New York Giants like that. Not the Miami Dolphins.
Bingo.
Which they lost to.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they lost to them.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think Philly's struggling, man. These injuries, I don't know what they did to somebody. I don't know what kind of karma they having, but it's gonna be tough.
And now Alshon is iffy at best.
You saw the way Skip. He tried to explode off, and he just crumbled to the ground.
Yeah, that's
First,
over.
I thought it was
Yeah.
Achilles, but I don't.
Yeah, they say it's his foot. So you're thinking Liz Frank or if it's a foot sprain, still he's
I
done.
think that's almost worse than an Achilles, especially for a receiver, someone that changes directions and does it kind of without anticipation.
That is true. And Lane Johnson didn't look good either.
No.
And he was limping off.
And he had just gotten back. He just got off a concussion.
Yeah.
For me, I wasn't impressed either. You shouldn't struggle against a Giants team that's led by Eli Manning, who hadn't played since week 2. This was a bad look. And we talked about it yesterday, Skip. You know, the line was 8.5. I was like, they're not covering this. Because I had seen enough over the last 3 or 4 weeks to let me know they're not playing well. And when you're not playing well, now all of a sudden you go into players you're not really counting on. I mean, Greg Ward, they didn't anticipate Greg Ward. They didn't anticipate Josh Perkins. Now they got to go to Boston Scott. Really? I mean, you're down to the backups, to the backups, to the backups.
Oh, it's going to get worse now.
Right, and you counting on them. You're in the dead middle of a playoff push. Every game matters. There's such a small margin of error, and you're asking guys that if somebody would have told Dougie P that you know what, you're gonna be counting on Greg Ward to make plays for you late in the season. You're like, man, get out of here. And that's where they are. Aguilar, I mean, you can count on him.
Are you sticking with your pick?
I don't have.
It sounds like you trying to come over here with me and Skip.
No.
Oh, the Skip.
You know what? Even though the offense, with all their injuries, I'm most disappointed with the defense. You need to explain to me Ronald Darby, who's supposed to be their number 1 corner.
Oh, man.
And he's getting cooked.
I think I think he got a lot of talent, but I think that the corner is one of them things once you lose your confidence, and I think it just showed last night he's lost his confidence, or he didn't have it last night. He
had it all year.
You get the third and, I think it was, 3rd and 13?
Yes.
I think it was, and then you play off, you let a
You
guy.
play off, and then you come up on the attack his inside shoulder. You know you come out outside in.
What's the guy name that caught it?
Slayton.
Okay,
Darius
Darius
Slayton.
Slayton.
Yeah.
Things like an undrafted rookie.
No, he's fifth round.
Oh, so, okay, fifth round.
Just 5th round.
Well, he's a late round pick. He wasn't expected to be counted on.
Skip, if you watch the low lights, I mean the little highlights that the Giants do have, they're throwing the ball to him. He's all they got.
I think Philly's problem is going to be there when they run into Dallas is they just line up and play the defense. And what I can tell you is Dak Prescott is definitely good enough to beat you if you just line up and play single high.
Well, that's what's going to happen. And Amari Cooper is better than Darius Slayton. They're two.
Whoa. What, so you coming back to our side?
No. I'm saying.
It sure sounds like.
Well, no. I'm just saying. The question was about last night, and I told Skip this. Yeah, they won. That's encouraging that you got down 14 points and came back. But when you look at it, who you got down to?
Yeah, it's just building up the TV ratings for the showdown here in a few weeks.
Hopefully that's on our network.
Look, I am never going to dismiss a win because they did win.
Yeah.
And it's hard to win in this league, as you well know, and you really well know. And yet, to both your points, it was like a shameful win, like an embarrassing win.
It was ugly.
It was a head scratcher because the time of possession was 43 minutes for Philly to 22 minutes for Eli and company. If you have the ball that long, it can't go to overtime.
No.
You should take care of them much sooner than overtime. And it took to under 2 minutes left in the game for you to get to 17.
But what I'm not going to take away from Dougie P, as you called him, is he did what he had to do. He realized that Carson Wentz, he don't have anybody to throw it to, and when he does, what was more embarrassing to me is the Giants, this coaching staff, they get paid. They get paid to do a job. You got one receiver, double the guy.
It's just one guy.
Double him.
It's 86
Double him.
bust. Yeah. We talked about it to open the show. In fact, I got to show those two tapes. Second quarter, there are two plays in a row. One was a little bit of a broken play, but you, when in doubt, he just looks for 86. That's just his whole life.
But I mean, it's even worse on the Giants coaches. It's just like, just find him.
Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah, other
Wide
teams
open.
have figured it out.
That guy wears 86. He's the security blanket. Watch this. This is not double coverage. This is zero coverage.
Pathetic
Like,
is
what are you doing?
Pathetic.
Come on.
Pathetic.
And then it comes down to the last play of the game, and they leave him uncovered. They just let him run free into the end zone. Here, underhand it to him.
To tie the game,
Yeah.
second and goal.
Okay, but that was the first one. But I'm talking about the one to win the game.
Oh,
they just didn't cover
the
him.
Giants was ready to go home.
I think they were. I told him.
It was
I said
packed-
they were
it was-
ready
it was
to pack
packed
it
in.
in. It was cold. It was wet.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the top side, they're playing man. I see the guy just got the tight end that's in the down position. He's playing man. And I see for Ogletree in 31, they expand to play zone. Why would you do that down there?
What was the defense? They're looking at each other.
It looked like a little bit of like one rat. Ogletree looked like he looking for a crossing route on the 1 yard line.
But here's the thing. But the crossing route ain't coming from that direction. It's going to be coming from the other side.
It's poor coaching. Film study something. He's seen something.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I mean, maybe because it seems to me that when he's short motion, 31 says we're playing zone. But they're playing man at the top. And the bottom playing man, because the guy that the Goddard lined up, the guy takes him in the flat, he's playing man.
I agree.
So you got two guys playing man and two guys playing nothing.
That's 2-11 football.
That's it.
So I will give the Eagles this. They did get a little late spark from a 5'6" guy who was originally drafted by the New Orleans Saints named Boston Scott. Maybe New England could use him because his name is Boston. but he had some spark to him last night, and I think he sparked them. And it helped Carson. It took a little pressure off him because he was getting some splash plays from him.
Yeah.
We could just swing it to him, and he'd just make somebody miss.
He made Jackrabbit.
He played well last night.
He made Jackrabbit almost pull it, blow
But
it.
if you depended on a poor man's Darren Sproles to win you an East title.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're down to. You talking about
But you
injuries.
can't switch now, because I'm not complaining about injuries. You came
Yeah,
in,
you are.
You killed Dallas, and you said, they go up and lose to the Jets. They got two guys playing tackle that we never heard of.
That is correct.
Amari's out, and they have
Amari out. You still got Cobb and Gallup.
Cobb.
Yeah.
It's 2019.
Skip say he like him.
He might, because that's his team, and he's loyal, but it's still 2019. He's a realist at the end of the day.
No, he's not.
still a realist.
I mean, so what you trying to say, Cobb ain't no good?
I mean, he's okay.
Well,
I
goddamn.
still think he's a little better than Measley.
Oh, no, Measley, get him.
I'm gonna have to disagree, but I think that's just not what they do. They're not a slot-driven team. When you look at some of these other teams like New England, they're gonna throw it to their slot. When you look at Philadelphia, they've always used their running back in the passing game. So it's a little bit easier to rely on a guy like.
And what running back we got?
Miles Sanders.
Really? Miles Sanders is not an every down back. Miles Sanders is the third down back. He might have backed up Saquon, but he got none of the other traits. He's not a hammer back. You can't run him 20 times a game.
They don't run the ball 20 times a game anyway. Unless it's 10 with the running back.
Well, they used to when they had Jay Ajayi when he was going and Blunt. When they had Winnebago.
You got to update that resume. Ain't that what you said?
So what have I told you from the
Update
start?
that resume.
What?
Saquon Barkley, For once in my life, I actually needed Saquon to hammer away and salt away the game and kill the clock. Can't do it. He's not built that way. It looks like he could because he's got thighs that won't quit. You think he could just bash people out of the way with his thighs between the tackles? He can't run it between the tackles. So they give it to him 7 times in the second half, and he gets a grand total of 27 yards. They threw it to him one time for a -1. He's your guy. You told me several times he's the best running back in football.
Well, here's the thing, though, Skip. I know you can't throw it, so I can just play. I can put 8 guys down in the box, knowing you can't run it, and you got Darius Slayton. And I would take my chance with him. I'd have just been throwing Darby. He'd got about 4 touchdowns called on him last night.
I think you got to keep going to it, but the Giants, they just,
Was that coaching then?
Yes.
Using him the right way? I mean.
Yes. Because they got the big lead and they tried to do what you wanted them to do, salt it away. No, I'm throwing the ball on Slayton.
We just needed 1 score, just a field goal.
Okay,
whoa, you actively rooting?
Actively.
Yeah.
Actively rooting against Philadelphia.
It wasn't,
Actively.
It wasn't just a few weeks ago you were a Philadelphia Eagle. Explain to us the psyche of that team in 2019.
I think they believe that they can get out of anything. They believe it's them against the world. If you just watch the way they carry themselves, you just watch them, because being in the media now, you watch all that stuff. But if you watch the way they carry themselves, it's us against the world. Everybody quit on us. And, they can carry that mentality right on into the link in 2 weeks. And everybody is going to quit on them when it's over.
Ooh.
Easy.
When it's over.
You're going to be sad now.
Love that.
You
want to put a couple cases on it, or you want to put a little yak on it?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, make it loud on yourself.
A little yak on it.
I think you want to make it loud on
yak
yourself. I know you feeling good. You think, they're going to come in here the way Philly. See, this is why, Skip, when I watch tape, I never watch TV copy. Because you look at the Eagles last night, and you think, oh, man, we're going to blow that team out.
No. You look at it and you compare teams. You say, I want to see what y'all did against this team. I want to see what Dallas did. You can't compare them teams. What I do got for you is some stats here.
Oh.
November 19th, 2017. It's the last time that Philadelphia won. They lost 4 straight. So deep down inside in their mind, they know what it is.
That's what walking to them was healthy.
No.
Walking to them was healthy.
They know what it is deep down inside.
I know what it ain't. They're the Cowboys. They're the Cowboys.
They are.
Update that resume.
But
this ain't the triplets Cowboys.
What you mean? How many NFC East titles in the last 3 years? Huh?
They hang battles for that.
I'm listening. That's how you get to the
Super
playoffs.
Bowls. Super Bowl. We fly.
No.
Eagles fly.
No.
Fly?
Oh, now you actively rooting.
He's back.
Eagles fly.
Now you actively rooting.
Y'all got 2 battles NFC East.
We about to have 3.
I believe the Eagles are living in the 2017 past.
They didn't update their resume.
Yeah.
They're about
Fearless
to.
past.
They're about to get another NFC East title.
Skip, we need to go
First
to
year
we need to
you
go to the History Channel and watch some good Eagles highlights.
That's funny.
We need to go to the History
Good.
Channel.
That's what.
Yeah, we got to watch the History Channel.
Should we go to the History Channel?
That's what we got to do with y'all.
No.
Either way.
We got to do. You got to go way back 25 years. I mean, that Cowboys. Oh, we Super Bowl. Dude, you 22.
All right,
you don't even remember when the Cowboys were good.
Let's go back to the most recent, so we don't have to go to History Channel. Who won the last game?
Y'all won.
In the game before
Cowboys.
And the game.
Whoa, come on, just answer.
Walking to him was
answer.
hurt.
In the game before
Walking to him was hurt.
That's an excuse.
You know that.
That's an excuse.
Walking to him
Did
was
he
hurt.
play? Yep, he played.
Oh, so now,
Yeah.
as long as you
That's
play
what you always
okay.
tell me.
Okay, I'll remember that now.
Okay.
Remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The Cowboys jumped out to early first-quarter leads in their last 2 games against the Bills and Bears, but the offense lost steam each time, resulting in losses for Dallas. When asked why the offense couldn't keep the momentum going, Dak Prescott was at a loss for answers, saying that he couldn't put a finger on it. Orlando Scandrick still with us. So, Orlando, can you put a finger on what is wrong with the Cowboys?
There's no consistency.
Yeah.
I think they need to establish that run game. I think that they need to go up 2 scores. I mean, I think we need just play solid defense. I'm not asking them to be the 85 Bears.
Yep.
Get some turnovers.
They got 2?
They did.
They got 2
That was a
Thursday
start.
night.
That was a start.
What you got to do with them?
We need to get some early turnovers, get some momentum. Just play decent special teams. I'm not asking them to win the game, but just don't miss the kicks. And I feel good about it now that my heart is out of there. I think that we got some fresh blood.
Wasn't easy.
Just get back to what the team was built. Big offensive line, dominant running back, complimentary quarterback that can make all the throws.
Complimentary.
Yeah, but he's a winner.
Complimentary.
Born leader, born winner.
There's some restaurants you go to and we order breakfast, you get a complimentary cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Go to Starbucks and try to get a complimentary cup of coffee.
But Dak is,
I know what I'm talking about.
Dak is
baby.
kind
You know what I'm
of
talking
like, he like when you catch that Emirates flight and you get complimentary dates, complimentary.
But you got to pay for that, right?
No, it's complimentary.
No, but you done paid $40,000 for a first class ticket.
Yeah.
I better get everything
Must be
complimentary.
They gonna pay $40 million for a first class quarterback. It's complimentary winner.
Good point.
See, that's the biggest mistake people make, Jenny. People think because if I pay a guy X amount of dollars, it's gonna make him good. Wrong, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, it's no price on winning.
What y'all do so, but
It's only a matter of time for the big ones to come.
I ain't got that kind of time. I'm looking at my life. I look at my life the other day. I was looking in the mirror. I said, I probably got about 30 summers left. I got about 30 summers left in me if I'm good. So y'all talking about all this time you want to. I count mine in summers. I got about 30 left, Jenny. I got 30 summers left.
That investment has paid off already.
Okay.
It's already paid off. It's like when you make buy that stock and it goes up 3 times.
I will give you this. It's the inconsistency. Because one week you get the Cowboys offense and they're playing exceptionally well. They're moving the ball. And then the defense can't get a stop. And then you get games like New England, you get games like New Orleans where they hold them to, 13, they hold them to 12, and we can't generate anything offensively. Special teams have been terrible all year, with the exception of games that you're blowing people out and Maher can trot on the field when there's no pressure and bang 60-plus yard field goals.
Maher, he gone.
And see, that's the thing. But when you look at them special teams, you don't see a team like, when you think of special teams, you think of the Rams. You think of Coach Belichick and the Patriots.
Fair.
They're going to block a punt. They might fake punch you. They might get something special out of it. When you think of Dallas, okay, they're going to punt the ball. Okay, they're going to fair catch the punt. They're going to, kick off and you'll get the ball at 25, even if they bring it out of the end zone. So when I look at them, I don't look at that phase as something that's being complimentary to their offense or to their defense.
It's 100%. When you go in and you're gonna make a game 10-3, and you get a field goal block, and then you go down and give up a touchdown, and now you're down 10-7.
Right.
That's huge.
Right.
Huge.
Oh, you know that.
That's what I'm saying, but that's my point. I'm saying when I look at them, I don't look at them complimentary. They are not complimentary pieces. Your special teams, that's what it should be. But it's not because they give you nothing.
When I played, we kind of called it we fence. We was the last play of offense,
Right.
but the first play of defense. I mean, it's when you leaving points on the field and then, I don't know, that was baffling to me.
And I still believe that they need to get Zeke going. And Skip, he gets going. If he gets stopped twice, you can't say we can't run the ball because that's what they do. They run Zeke get going good, and then all of a sudden he might get the first down they give it to him, he gets nothing. Next time he gets the ball, he gets nothing. They're like, oh, we can't run the ball.
And then they look up and they're down.
Right.
So when you're in a hole, you're forced. And then it's like when you a bunch of third and longs, to Dak's defense, and I killed Dak for the first half he had. But to his defense, I mean, it's hard. They don't got a lot of plays. You're not looking on that play sheet and saying 3rd and 10.
You only
not
got
a lot of third.
You only got about 3rd and 10 and long. That's what they consider 3rd and long. They only got about 3 or 4 plays on there. And after you pick up 2 of them on first, you get 2 first downs on those. You're like, okay, now where do we go?
All I know about Ezekiel Elliott, he finally broke one the other night.
Broke it.
Longest run of the year. What was it? 31.
Yeah.
And then they give it to him again, and he gets 4, and they give it to him again, he gets 2, and he looks to the sideline and he waves out.
Well, I mean,
I'm gassed.
They line up in double tight. They got one guy that's Shannon, your age. He ain't getting no push. They got another guy that's a pass catcher.
Compared you to Jason Witten.
Yeah, I'm 51 and been retired for 15 years. Jason Witten is still playing.
They got another pass catcher. I think just innovation. Let's get some creativity. Let's, put some RPOs in there, some quarterback runs. Let's do something a little different. Let's try something a little different. We tried it this way.
So what happened in the one Dallas Cowboys signature win of this year at Jerry World on a Sunday night?
That was signature win?
Dougie P came out and guaranteed victory.
He guaranteed. And
you was on that team.
I was. It was difficult. They did whatever they wanted that night. It was kind of like
why'd you let it happen?
It was kind of like when you go trick-or-treating and you just pick in there. Like,
why did you let that happen?
I mean, I didn't do my part. You're right. I didn't. But the game plan was
what happened early on? Dallas Goedert caught a ball over the middle, and Jalen Smith laid the wood on him, and he coughed it. He coughed it right up on the carpet, Dallas's ball.
Yep.
Next series, what happened? Bounce it to him, Wentz. He's in the pocket, and here comes DeMarcus Lawrence laying down the law. D-Law laying down the law.
That's the only time you said he was D-Law.
Sack, fumble.
Okay.
Boom,
I
touchdown,
think that in the back of
14-0.
Philadelphia's mind, that's there. And I think the way that Dallas is built, football is about matchups. I don't care what you did before that. That's how you look at teams like the Dolphins and they beat the Eagles. You match up better, and I think Dallas matches up better against Philly. I think you're gonna be disappointed.
Y'all healthier. That's the only reason you're matching.
A yak. I don't want no No Black and Miles.
Yeah,
Drink that.
we got it. Done. Bet.
So
Yeah.
what was the mood on the team plane going home that night?
I think Philadelphia, I don't think they ever waver. I don't think they ever doubt themselves. They won a Super Bowl. That's the top of the top. And I think they lean on that in the back of their mind. And I think it's a gift and a curse. So I expect them to play hard. I expect them to go up to Washington this week and struggle. They'll probably win. They'll struggle. And then, on to the big showdown. And I think they'll put this big thing around it about how it's Dallas. We hate them. Dallas week, this, that. And I think Zeke could get rolling. And, Coop love playing against the Eagles.
Yeah.
He love him some Ronald Darby.
Yeah, I think I
Love him
give
some
Darby.
Jalen Mills.
Yeah, they're not very good.
Oh, that's what you got.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what we got.
You wavering?
No.
He sound like he eating out of both sides of his
But
mouth.
here's the thing.
He was
though.
just flying.
But still, you still got to put your defense on the field. Your defense trash.
Boston got Scott.
Your defense is trash.
But it's a great matchup for
Mitchell Trubisky
And
is about to
but-
get a
but-
contract extension
He is.
against Shaw. Thank you.
Mitch had a good game. It was lightning in a bottle.
Ain't no lightning in no bottle.
It was definitely
Why
lightning
everybody
in the
keep
bottle.
catching lightning in the bottle against y'all?
I don't know.
Josh Allen caught lightning in the
We
bottle.
still waiting for Carson Wentz to catch lightning in the
he
bottle.
was about
We
to-
haven't caught lightning
he
in the
was about
bottle
to be-
since 2017.
Oh, yeah. So he had it, right?
2017.
33-7.
What year is this?
33-7.
It's about to be 2020.
How many touchdowns Dak? You think Dak gonna throw for 33 touchdowns this year?
No.
I didn't think so.
I think
My
they
guy's
gonna-
already done that.
Joe Guy gonna make
With
the
three
playoffs?
guys. With 3 guys, yep.
Early vacation?
Courtesy of you guys.
No way.
Courtesy of you guys.
Make that 3. 3 bottles of yak.
Courtesy of you
Three
guys.
bottles of yak.
Oh, you talking big guys? We all banged up. We got 3. We finished that game. You saw we finished it with 3 tight ends and an undrafted transfer quarterback.
And if you think that y'all gonna beat Dallas with 3 tight ends and a Houston quarterback,
did it.
you think so? Or Nelson Aguilar be back?
No. I don't want him.
And you talk about that defense, that Eagles defense, the
They
same
terrible.
Eagles defense
They terrible.
that gave up 30
They terrible.
to the Dolphins.
They
Shannon,
terrible.
you seem to be losing heart.
They terrible. Skip, I mean, look. I'm fighting a great fight. The offense, they're gonna Dougie P gonna fire things. But I need Jim Schwartz to give me something on defense. I need Fletcher Cox. I need to see more Fletcher Cox. I need to see more Barnett. I need to see more Graham. I need to see more.
Okay, I'll match you with that. I need to see more of DeMarcus Lawrence and Robert Quinn and Michael Bennett.
You will.
I got
Because
to.
If Lane Johnson is injured and you going against Vitar or whatever his
Yeah.
name is, you see the way
Big
Big
the
V.
way they did Big
They
V.
went right around him.
Come on.
He's better served at a guard because there's not a whole lot of space in there. But when you got those wide, they'll get no wide nines,
Yep.
and they can and see Robert Quinn can dip, D-Law can dip. It ain't gonna be looking good.
Wentz gonna bounce a couple to him.
Oh, you know, old bounce it, old donkey Dak. You know, old donkey Dak.
But I listened to you say that Dak would be one of your favorite players if it wasn't for Skip.
Yeah.
There's a level of that. We've heard it before. And
It's love.
When he has a good game, you
He
give him
knows.
the credit.
I give him credit when he have a good game. But what I will do
Give it a mess.
is that I'll give him a bad grade. I give him what he earned. If he earns an F, he gets an F. If he earns an A, he gets an A.
He
Can he
got
get them
one
last
A
4
plus
victories
plus.
that he earned?
One.
When?
He did.
When last time? Look
Can he
at
get them last 4 victories?
When? What victories?
The last 4 against the Eagles.
Look at
Can we
update your
talk about his record versus the Eagles?
We update your resume. We got to update
That
resume.
is his resume.
No resume. What have he done
His
last 3
resume-
weeks? Last 3 weeks. Give me his last 3 weeks for that.
He had some rough games the
Yeah,
last.
no.
But the
What's
Eagles will bail him out. Those injuries, they'll bring back his
Well, they've been
confidence.
bailing us out all year.
Okay.
Miami, thank you.
Yeah, Miami.
Yeah.
Because
Coming up.
you know you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be in last place. You're supposed to be in second right now. Because we supposed to have won that game.
I will give you that, but
No,
we're in
not
first.
giving them that.
Well, you guys take care of
they
the Rams.
traditionally do that. That's what the Eagles do. Build up to fall down.
Guess what the Cowboys do? They win the first 3
NFC
games
East titles, host playoff games,
Ooh.
and catch an L.
And then
host
You
playoff
was
games.
on that team with Green Bay, right?
Which one? When we caught it?
Yeah.
And the refs didn't do their job?
No, the
what
refs,
they get paid
now-
to do?
now the refs, they do
Talk
their
about the
job.
refs. We don't
Now
have
the
enough
refs.
time
They
to get
changed
into
the
refs
rule
right
because-
Now
now.
the refs, they do their job.
They changed the rule.
No mercy.
The Patriots offense stalled in the red zone against the Chiefs, going 1 for 3 on Sunday. On the season, the Patriots ranked 27th in red zone touchdown percentage. And yesterday, when he was asked about the red zone woos, Tom Brady said he wished there was one magic thing they could do to fix their problems. So Orlando, can the Patriots offense be fixed at this point?
I'm a believer. I think they're lacking a little continuity right now. You know, earlier in the year, left tackle was out. You know, couldn't run the ball. You know, the offensive line coach, their guru, Skarmecki is his name. Skarmecki, I think they acknowledge and they realize they have a problem. And then I think they went through the Antonio Brown phase, and then he was gone. And then they trade for Sanu. I think that was a decent addition. I mean, I think that gives them somebody that can at least catch the ball, somebody sure-handed. I think N'Keal Harry, I'm looking forward to him, stepping up and continuing to grow. And I think as Tom trusts him and as he gets more consistent, I think that will be better for them. Mm-hmm. But in the end, I'm just a firm believer in experience will prevail. I think that once it gets tough and when you get to the one-and-done situation of the playoffs, and if you look at it, if you really, really break this thing down and put it all in the big picture, you're a 1 or 2 seed, you get a bye. You only got to win one game and you win the championship. Mm-hmm. And I think if you take it one at a time, and which they will, they got the best coach that has ever walked the planet. And I'm a believer, and I think those guys believe, and I think regardless of how much Tom says he's worried and he wants to find something magic, I think deep down inside he's gonna rely on his experience and it's gonna prevail. And I think they're together. They're such a team and they're so accustomed to winning. That's something that you can't put your finger on how to win.
How?
Continuity.
Who's walking through there? So why are they struggling now?
What as much as they struggled, they still had a chance to win the game. When you want to go over the calls, because these people, you get paid to do a job. You get paid to do a job, and you got to come on here and do your part.
I make sure you remember that. When that corner give up that touchdown, you got paid to do a job.
Absolutely.
Okay, then.
But when
we put everybody to do the job?
No. I can accept when a person gets beat because you are better than me. You get paid too. Yeah. But how do you accept when a ref beats you?
Because he's human. He's imperfect.
But the way that this whole thing is set up is you let they put this rule in a few years ago that all scoring plays is reviewed.
Yeah.
So you let everything play out. Yeah. You let it play out. Right. N'Keal Harry scores a touchdown. Right. But since this guy wants to be on TV and he wants to...
Man want to do all that. Stop that.
Yeah, he want to be on...
that.
That's a lot of...
Stop that.
The Boger crew is notorious for making it about them.
No.
When Kelsey fumbles, Gilmore picks it up. Clear recovery. They put this thing in. There's got to be a clear recovery. They ruling it down.
Okay, he got the recovery. They went and reviewed it.
It caused them to use a... What did it cause them to use?
Did you see Reek roll up on him?
It don't matter. Okay, you would have had the ball on the opposite 40, and then we go down and we're going down to score. I'm putting myself, and I say we as the Patriots, they're going down to score. Kendall Fuller tackles Dorsett. That's a penalty in third grade flag.
Tackled him.
That's a penalty in third grade flag.
Come on. Look here. Here's the problem that you're having is that teams are doing the unthinkable. They're blitzing the crap out of Tom Brady because he's the worst quarterback in the NFL when facing pressure. Because as you get older, you don't want to take them licks to the chop.
I know. I don't think that he's the worst quarterback.
That's what stats say.
Stats can say whatever you want them to say. I can look at some stats and I can formulate an argument however I want to formulate.
So let me ask you a question. If you base it on QBR, if you're basing it on completion percentage,
I'm basing it off the fact that his team leads the league in drops. What do you want him to do? He's standing there, he throws a crossing route to Myers, and it hits him. Hits him in the wrong place.
So let me ask you a question. Where were these problems when they were 8-0?
I don't still think that these are problems. I think these are things that they got to work through.
Wait, Shannon Sharpe kept telling me they played nobody.
Yeah.
Right? Defense overrated.
Yeah.
Use the word overrated. They played nobody.
What he tries to do. I said they're deep. Everybody was saying they're historically great. I said they're not. When I think of historically great, I'm thinking of the Ravens of 2000. I'm thinking 85 Bears. Yeah. I'm thinking 70 Steelers. Those are historic. I was like, that's not them.
What they were doing, they were on a historic pace.
But look at
they're an above average. They're an above average to teetering with elite defense. And I think that if you give Belichick, tell him that you got to beat one team 1 week, I'm putting my money on.
Okay.
All of it.
Okay, they played Deshaun Watson. How'd they do? How's that elite defense? Indoors, no elements. How did they do?
They're allowed to have bad games. But that's the Patriots, though. That's what they do. Every year you say, oh, this over. Oh, it's over. Think about if they didn't have no defense for a lot of times.
Historically great, the Ravens in 16 games gave up fewer points than what the Patriots have given up in 13. They gave up 1,000 yards, less than 1,000 yards rushing.
It was a totally different league then. This was the league where everybody lined up and played like the Dallas Cowboys with 2 tight ends and just
you know. They
didn't even play nickel.
Who
was the person that used to guard you? The linebacker. That's why you got so many yards.
Corey.
That's why you got so many yards.
I heard that. Linebacker.
I cooked the Cowboys. As the Cowboys,
the linebacker.
I beat Greg Miles for a total.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, you know Greg Miles fast. Got Colorado
that was
State.
Back in prehistoric times.
The league was totally different back then. It was different. Uncle Shay Shay, it was different.
It was a different league.
It was a different league. So you can't compare those stats. You can't take away what New England is doing.
Good. I'm glad you said that because they threw a lot more then. So my 8-15 have probably been 11-15.
They threw a lot more when.
now than they did back then.
I mean, but you were like ahead of your generations. So they threw the ball to you a lot. You was like a receiver.
I guarantee you I caught 100 passes, a bunch of 100 passes. But when you got a 2,000-yard rusher, how many passes do you think you're going to catch if you got a 2,000-yard rusher?
Not a lot.
What about 1,750?
Now, I'm not telling. Listen. You making this about me and you.
I'm asking for
I'm telling you that
Tom Brady's not the same guy.
Don't you? Are
That's
you
what I'm telling you.
Obviously, nothing is the same.
Oh, God, what tell him that?
How is he different?
He
lost velocity?
Skip. His
Nerve?
Tell him as you get older, your legs aren't the same. You can think
When did he ever have legs?
No, I'm talking about the drive, the ball. You saw that last play to Edelman? Chuck and duck.
Two guys are about to blast him under.
Step into
I think
it.
Joe's got to go up and get that, and I think he'll be the
You know
first
what?
person to tell you
He's
he got
gotta
to
go up and
attack the
snatch
ball.
it.
But at the
He's
end of the day,
5'10".
DB made a good play, but I'm not going to sit here and press the panic button on Tom Brady because of the regular season. He's just trying to get this bye.
Okay.
Just get the bye.
Okay.
Just give me a week and a half.
So he had 3 games. I mean, what happened?
He's still on pace. Everything that he won is right in front of him.
Everything the Ravens want is right in front. Everything the Houston, everything everybody wants is right in front of you. Still in the playoff.
You can put it that way.
Okay,
but they don't have no experience.
I got to tell you, I'm not sure this can be fixed because I don't know.
Who coming? Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure it's broken though.
Chicken salad out of a whole lot
Yeah. But I like how you.
I'm not exactly sure it's broken.
Oh, it's broken.
Okay.
They played against some good football teams.
They are 23rd in rushing.
I don't care. None of them. All those stats restart in a few weeks. Okay. Right or wrong.
Okay.
Right or wrong.
Okay.
They got Cincinnati, Buffalo, Miami.
Yep.
Okay. They have a chance to get on something of a late season roll, right?
Right.
It's all to me about that number 1 pick at receiver, N'Keal Harry. He played 2 snaps. 2 snaps on Sunday against Kansas City? Are you kidding?
At some point, you have to just believe in
you just
who
have
drafted
to throw
him.
it.
What it hurt though, Skip, what hurt him is that he had to go on IR, so he wasn't able to practice.
I got it.
Tom wasn't able to get that timing because there's nothing. Look, I understand being on the field, but the continuity that you see on the field comes from practice reps. Guys doing it over and over. Well, when you're in a walking boot or whatever he's in and he's not being able to practice, that hurts. That set him back. So you're basically trying to start from training camp over again, but you're in the regular season.
Okay, he's a difference maker.
Yes.
I think so.
6'4", 230 pounds. And I watched him a lot at Arizona State.
covered him.
And you did.
He can play.
And he changes games because he is big and fast with big hands.
He can play.
Okay, he can play. You saw the play.
Yeah.
It was a touchdown that he scored, and it was the only splash play
Block
they
in the
had
back
all
too.
day.
You saw that too. That's block in the back.
That's still a lot of pressure,
But Skip, even the best guys, rookie receivers coming in, a veteran cornerback is gonna give him fits. Yeah.
But I think that what New England does is their scheme eventually takes over. Tom is going to get you in the right play. You want to play man, we're going to do crossing routes.
Yeah.
We're going to do pick plays. You want to play zone, all right, I'm going to just take what you give me.
But see, the thing is, what teams are what we're starting to see a lot more of, Skip, they're bracketing Julian Edelman. They're forcing him to throw the ball to
you?
They're forcing him to throw the ball to Myers. They're forcing him to throw the ball to Lacoste, the tight end. They're forcing him Dorsett. Okay, we take our chance with Dorsett. But there are a couple of times, think about it. He was throwing the ball up, hoping for pass interference, knowing good and well this guy ain't got no chance of making no play.
Well, their opening drive was 2 quick pass interferences.
Pass interferences.
Yeah.
People grabbing.
Uh-huh.
It's a penalty. It's illegal.
And that's what y'all do. 10 for $136, ain't nobody say that. Vinovich landed all his body weights on Patrick Mahomes.
That's
Did he not?
landed all this. He's sacking the guy when he had the ball.
No, he threw it.
You want him to be
Even though you can't
want
land
him to be a magician and a pass rusher?
That's what the NFL say. We put the onus on the defender.
Yeah.
That's what the rule is. You know the rules.
What they say about tackling receivers when the ball in the air?
I don't know. Ask Coach Belichick. If you can't
What they say about it?
If you can't cover them, tackle them.
They're not gonna call it. Tackle them every time.
Okay then. So did they call the Dorsett penalty?
No.
Okay then. So
They
it's a
called
problem.
the out of bounds, the phantom out of bounds penalty.
Orlando, good stuff today. Nice to have you with us. You're getting this guy going over here. I'm not so sure how he feels about it.
We gonna be getting doing them Douce bottles too.
No mercy.
On Sunday, Lamar Jackson joined Michael Vick as the only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history to rush for 1,000 yards in a season. And with 3 games left, Lamar is only 22 yards behind Vick's single-season record. The 2 quarterbacks have done it in different ways, though, with the majority of Lamar's yards coming from design runs, while most of Vick's yards were on scrambles. So, Shannon, who is better, Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick?
Well, at this stage, you'd have to say Lamar. Lamar is a better thrower of the football. Mike was a guy that after his first read wasn't there, he would dart, hence most of his yards coming on scramble, Skip. And Lamar is like going through his progressions, and you can see it. I think a lot of it has to do that he can see some of the things that Michael did well. He can build on some of the things that Michael didn't do well. He can get coached up on. But also, Skip, I think the thing is now is that what the NFL has done is that Michael Vick, Dan Reeves was his head coach. Dan Reeves was my first head coach. They really didn't know what they had with Mike. Mike was ahead of his time. Because if you had Michael Vick now with these coaches that have gone and studied college tape and how to use these guys and how to call plays that run the quarterback, not just, okay, quarterback draw and just take off. No, they got elaborate design schemes that can get Lamar Jackson on the edge. Mike didn't have that. Basically, Mike was like a quarterback draw or a sweep, Skip, where they rolled Warwick Dunn and everybody that side, and Vick follows him. You look at the way Greg Roman is calling this thing, you're like, wow, I've seen that before. So both are, they're really the only similarity is really I look at them like black and they can, run and get 1,000 yards and that. But Skip, at this point right now, Lamar Jackson is the MVP. You can see the maturation that he's gone through from year 1 to year 2 as far as his ability to throw the football. He's up 8 percentage points just throwing the football. Skip, the guy threw 6 touchdowns in 7 games last year as a starter. He's at 28. So right now, Lamar Jackson is better than Michael Vick because I think the coaching that he has and the system that they can use and put him in can take full advantage. I don't think Michael early in his career had his ability fully taken advantage of.
I would agree with that. So I want to be very clear about this. If you made me choose right now between watching a game of Michael Vick in Atlanta, I'm talking about the Michael Vick experience, between that and watching a Lamar game now, give me the experience every Sunday, Monday, Thursday. Because it was spectacular.
It was unbelievable on that turf.
But my very sentiment is what helped, quote unquote, ruin Michael as a passer. Because that was a day and time in which Dan Reeves was not going to call many runs for Michael because it just wasn't done. You don't run a little quarterback, and he was viewed as a small man.
And you tried to protect the quarterback. You're running him into harm's way.
So Michael, who can be very sensitive to what the public wants of him, he knew the customers wanted him to bolt. Because what entertains the masses, it's winning a little bit, but they paid to watch him bolt the pocket. So what would be his nature? It would be, like you said, maybe one quick look and I am gone.
Here you go.
Because you're not going to get that play called by your coordinator, Dan Reeves, or your play caller. You're going to have to make it on your own. And by the way, when he bolted and got free in the open, it was
so fun.
Skip, people don't realize this. Michael Vick was the first visiting quarterback to hand Green Bay a playoff loss at Lambeau.
And that was a low-scoring game. Cold. He pulled that off.
That overtime game against Minnesota, when he broke the pocket. And both of these guys are electric, Skip. But I believe right now Lamar is so far ahead of where Mike was in his second year at throwing the football. It's not even close.
And why is that? Because Lamar has been allowed to become a dedicated passer. He is a pass-first passer because he knows full well the next play might be a called power run, right? So he knows he's going to get to run, dozen times a game? Easy, a dozen times. Well, Michael had to make his own runs by scrambling. Right? Okay, so Lamar has dedicated himself to the art of passing. And I'm telling you, he's getting Peyton-esque, Brady-esque in reading and finding the most open target and hitting him right on the money.
Skip,
he's deadly at it.
Because we watch him, and you watch him like I do. You see, last year, when the play was broken down, he's looking to run. He's like, okay, I'm looking to run. Now, he'll break and he'll start drifting to the side. Okay, let me find somebody. Where's Andrews? Where's Boyles? Oh, Snead. He's looking for guys that, okay, they're not there. Now I'm gone. Because he knows, Skip, like, I can get 10 yards, but I like what I saw Sunday, Skip, because there was an opportunity from times he could have got 2 or 3 yards more. He said, nah, I'm good. Stepped out of bounds. I'm good.
Michael Vick was also an extraordinary athlete to the point he had a huge arm. Like I'm talking about big cannon, way bigger than Lamar has, but not an accurate cannon. So it was wild high, it was a little off. This guy is just flicking darts, or he's flicking missiles, because the velocity on Lamar is...
The greatest throw Michael Vick had, Skip, was that Monday night game when he was the Eagles.
Lord,
and it was kind of drizzling rain a little bit. And when he reared back and he threw the ball, it looked like 70 yards.
It looked like 70 yards. I can't remember, was it Deshaun?
D-Jack,
No, it was, yeah.
And, I mean, like I said, Mike was ahead of his time. I would have loved to have seen Mike in this era.
Right.
With somebody like a Greg Roman that understands his ability and can use it to its fullest.
Yep.
He was so fun to watch, though.
He was fun
man.
to watch. I just don't think he could run with the authority between the tackles. Lamar can.
No. He's a much smaller man than Lamar.
Yeah.
Mike goes, 5'11", maybe 210. Lamar is what, 6'2", 225? Do
you think he's 220? He might.
Probably 220 now.
Boy, the neck looks like he's
He's like a linebacker with that neck.
Well, Mike is often on our show, and what I think is so refreshing is how supportive he is.
Yes.
He's mentored him, and he wants him to break this record. He said that all along to us.
Right.
That speaks highly of him as well.
Mike said he thought the record would get broken, but just not this quick.
Yeah, he's like, I wanted it to happen, maybe not right
Michael
away.
is so humble about
He is.
about just giving in to the next generation,
Yeah.
like he's got next, and I'm blessing him.
And the thing is, Mike really didn't have anybody like that
Nope.
he could go to.
No.
These guys now that come in and can do what Lamar is doing, they can go back and they can talk to Mike. They can talk to Cam.
Yep.
Cam was the guy. Now Cam didn't, what they call power plays. They called a lot of plays for Cam to run, and I think that kind of hurt Cam early on too.
It did.
Well, 22 yards to go for that single-season record. Thursday night,
It's gonna happen on our
Lamar
network.
facing Darnold and the Jets,
Yep.
7:30 on Fox. Streaming on Prime Video and NFL Network as well. I'll be tuning in for that.
No mercy.
Luka Dončić is off to a hot start this season, averaging 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. And Hall of Famer Steve Nash weighed in on the young point guard, calling Luka the best 20-year-old the NBA has ever seen.
Oof.
Shannon, is there any truth to this?
Nah, hell no. He a bald-faced lie. Magic Johnson is the greatest 20-year-old the NBA has ever seen. Steve Nash, just in case, and I know last year, October 2018, they legalized marijuana, recreational marijuana in Canada. That's where Steve Nash from. So he probably
lives here.
Well, I know it's legal here because I know he blowing some of
That's a good
blowing some of them trees. Does he realize that Magic Johnson was Finals MVP at the age of 20?
He was an all-star. He was everything.
He jumped in Game 6. Kareem was out with a migraine. He jumped center.
This is rookie year.
Rookie year now. At 20, he had just turned 20 at the start of the season.
Yeah.
He jumped center. 42, 15, and 7. That's what he put up. It might be one of the 2 or 3 greatest finals performances that we've ever seen. And if we talk about all finals performances, I'm talking about with Michaels and Magics and Magic, Bird.
Yep.
You talk about KDs. We talk about LeBron.
You're right.
As a 20-year-old, as a rookie. So now Zion? That would be like Zion leading the Pelicans to the NBA Finals, Skip.
Well, it would help if you gave Zion Kareem and Worthy.
Yeah, he gave. No, Worthy was there. Kareem was there.
Yeah.
Kareem was the Finals MVP.
Yeah.
That was also the last year the players voted for the MVP of the season.
Yeah.
After that, the media took it over. Now, go back to my thing, what I told you 2 weeks ago. Luka Dončić is the real deal. He's a superstar, Skip. He's the real deal. Now, Nash even mentioned, Skip, the rules are a little different. The space is a little better. There's no more hand checking.
Yep.
Magic played in a grown man's league back then. If you think he complained about he didn't get the foul call the other night, there have been a lot of foul calls you wouldn't have got. And you going down the middle like you go down there now, that wasn't happening in the 80s.
So I'm surprised you left out this other kid played in this league at 20.
Yeah, LeBron.
Grew up in Akron.
Yeah.
You know that guy?
Yeah. But no, his 20-year-old season, Magic Johnson is the greatest 20-year-old.
Okay, but are you saying Luka is better than LeBron was at 20?
At 20, yeah. I'll say that. Yeah.
You're saying that?
I'll say that.
Wait, time out. Stop the presses.
Yeah, right now at 20, yeah.
You're
20.
saying Luka Dončić is better right now than LeBron was at 20.
Yeah, you see what Luka's doing?
I do see.
numbers, yeah.
I also see what he doesn't do.
What?
I'm sorry, he's a 32% three-point shooter. That ranks him 138th in the league right
He ain't in
now.
front of my guy, Bron.
Okay, well,
Bron.
old Bron's been making it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Luka is growing on me. I
Okay.
can't argue with these numbers, 30, 10, and 9.
No, you can't.
But I told you before the year started, Dallas now has 2 unicorns because they call Porzingis a unicorn.
Yeah.
And this is another unicorn.
Yeah.
So you got 2 of them, and they are feeding off each other with a little Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tim
mixed
Hardaway
in
Jr. is
between.
playing unbelievable,
Yeah, and
too.
all of a sudden this team is 16-7 and 3rd in the West. I'm sorry, he's not better than your man LeBron was when LeBron was 20. And I know Cleveland did not make the playoffs that year. They're 42-40, and LeBron went 27-7-7.
Yeah.
LeBron's a better passer than Luka.
Oh, yeah.
He just is, and he was. At 20, he had the gift. Luka is a terrific young playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
I'll also remind you, at 15, he was playing pro basketball in
Right.
Europe at a high level with grown men.
Yeah. So he had an unfair advantage. So it had been like he was playing with, when he came into the league as a teenager, it's like he had been playing with grown men for 5-6 years.
That's different,
but
right?
for Nash to say, okay, I guess he forgot what Magic did.
Well, I say he's forgetting what LeBron was at 20, because he was something now.
Oh,
he was a
there we go.
force.
That's how you like.
Not the GOAT, but he was something.
He been doing.
So now we're on opposite sides of the table on
I
this
know,
one,
I'm
because I'm going to
surprised.
defend him, because he had a grown man's body when he was like 16.
Yeah.
And at 20, he was a dominating force in this league.
But-
and he could play bully ball when he was 20.
But the thing, can you imagine, Skip, even from when LeBron first came into the league to where it is now, the league was different. You still had guys, it was still a physical game back then. Now the space, it's all about space. Can you imagine if LeBron would have, now, the way guys can get to the basket, LeBron would average just 30 points, just on layups and dunks.
Okay. So I don't see the physicality in Dončić yet.
No, that's not his game, Skip.
It's not. It's all finesse.
Yes.
He's a finesse rebounder.
But
He's an instinct rebounder.
Yeah.
Like he's seeing the bounce before.
Right.
Yeah.
But Skip, that's how most Europeans are. Most Europeans are not. They don't play that brand of basketball.
Yeah, and I can't get it out of my craw that night in Dallas.
Yeah.
That Friday night when you guys won on LeBron's weird kick out to
No, you
Danny
can't. That
Green.
night he kicked it to him.
But you saw what Dwight Howard did to Dončić. Kicked him right in the face, not literally, but he hit him upside the head. And Luka kind of checked out for the rest of the game.
You see the White. He caught him off guard.
Okay.
But like I said, I think the thing is, Skip, is that sometimes we become I think you coined the phrase "prisoner of the moment." Is that we look at what Dončić is doing, but you do realize Magic came in the league at a different time when it was a grown man. Can you imagine? Imagine, like, you might go down the lane once, Skip, but you weren't gonna bring your ass back down there again because they were laying you flat of your back.
Totally agree. No.
I mean, those guys didn't play back then, and they were starting to get the old guard out, the tough 70, the bully really. But then here come Pat Riley going to, he brought it back, and the Lakers were physical. You look at these finals between the Lakers and the Celtics, Skip. If Larry Bird, I think it was Larry. Yeah, it was Larry that snatched Kurt Rambis out of the air. Skip, if you snatch somebody out of the air like that, you going for 30-plus games. And it was like, that was nothing but a regular foul. That wasn't a flagrant.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of these guys playing now, if you could do like that, snatch them out the air like that, and like they would just literally be fighting on the court.
Look, I know some of the kids don't get this, but Magic and Bird took their NCAA Finals act and took it right into the NBA and stepped on the floor, and they were instant superstars.
Yes.
Like they
saved the NBA.
They did.
Wow.
They saved the NBA.
Okay.
And what happened? You know why it worked so well, Skip? One went to the West, and the other went to the East.
It was perfect.
And so now, and you got them playing
Good
against each other.
perspective.
And I think that's the thing I'm most upset about. I never got a chance to see LeBron and Kobe in the finals. You deserve, you know,
Thought we were going.
Yeah, I thought so too. And Dwight and those three-point shooters in Orlando, Pietrus and Turkoglu and Lewis, they ruined it.
Yeah.
But
Never
Luka, but he's a superstar to Skip. You like it on Luka now.
Definitely a superstar.
I'm not going superstar yet.
Throwing me off, though, to have you defend LeBron over here.
Weird.
I'm like, I can't. I don't
Weird
know if
dynamic.
I can continue this.
But
LeBron
it was true. I think you're going to hear.
No, I'm gonna hear from him. He gonna say,
I was gonna say,
he gonna probably tell me,
Someone's
tell
gonna
Skip,
know.
don't do
Shannon,
that.
he's
Don't do
gonna
that.
hear
He gonna say, don't do that. He don't want you to defend it because he know you don't mean it.
Okay.
I do mean it.
No, you
Let's
don't.
move on.
No mercy.
It was a rough Monday for Houston. Yesterday, the NBA officially declined the Rockets' protest of their loss to the Spurs on December 3rd. Then last night, the Rockets lost to the Kings on a 33-foot buzzer beater. And to make matters worse, the Kings' Twitter account tweeted out, "Protest that." Hashtag Kings for the win.
Yes.
Not even mad about it, Shannon. Do you like them doing this?
Loved it. I'm here for all things petty. King Petty here. Love pettiness to the highest degree. And this is pettiness at the highest degree, Skip Bayless. Since you want to protest everything, and the NBA said you had ample time to overcome that snafu. I love the Kings.
You know what? I watched this game live, and I thought the Rockets had nothing to be ashamed of because Russell Westbrook took this game over late with a huge late three and a huger driving lay-in that I thought had won the game.
He said it was a ball game. Game over.
I know. I thought it was. And Bielitsa made as impressive. It was like a 40-foot jump shot. It was pure, true rainbow jump shot. Just ripped it. On P.J. Tucker. I said, I've never seen anything any better than that.
What I'm surprised about is that he was able to do this. After LeBron body bagged him, you know, Lord, they don't come back from that body bag.
I don't know, he came back to life.
Yes!
I don't know how he did that.
Has Nurkic come back? When last time you saw Nurkic?
He's hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's not dead. He's hurt.
Body bagged him.
He's trying to get back in LeBron's graces. Called him out for
I know.
his
You
youth.
shame LeBron. That was terrible.
Oh, Bron.
You gotta have
me
his
and
back.
Bron just spoke last night.
Really?
What did you talk about?
Oh.
That
I think you're
share?
about to speak when this show is over.
Yeah,
Because
seriously.
he's going to be hot at you.
Oh, he on a mission, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he get Vucevic tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Vucevic, you going to get got.
Really?
Yep.
Well, LeBron took his act right to the locker room at the end of the half the other night. So.
Yeah, we went there to gas back up.
Yeah, okay.
That is it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.